pretty convinced he has, and I'm just trying to remember if it's happened more than once, and hopefully he'll be texting through shortly. 3.5, 1.5 has just popped up here too, by the way, Ryan. But yeah, it's happened, and I think too that when we discussed this last time, because I think it happened not so long ago, and then we discussed whether it had happened here, and somebody reckoned it had, and we just unfortunately they couldn't come up with the actual race book to prove it. But it certainly hasn't happened when I've called, I know that much, but it might have happened when Daryl's called, or back in Brian Martin's days, of course, as well. But anyway, it doesn't happen often, but it was that clear cut I was able to call it at the line, thankfully.
Well done, Rosso. Outstanding stuff. 1 through to 8 in the Adept Accountant C2 final over 305 metres. That's certainly one for the train spotters on the 26th of August 2016, race 2 at Wanganui. In racebook order, and there it is. Corborn Gunner 160, 110, beat Shelley McBell 140, Casual Slipper 450. 1-2 Quinella 290, 1-2-3 Try 32, 1-2-3 and 4 first for $182.90. The double 2 and 1 12.80, 2 and 2 concession $15.40. Quaddie's underway. And that pool in the quaddie got up to $2,178. And most of you through with Corborn Gunner. Sea parted, didn't it? And as soon as he got on the clear, little pup for Matt Roberts scooted away for an easy win. Bendigo up next. We're almost on start time, and that's followed hard on the back by the first at Richmond tonight at the Dogs, meeting 39, race number 1. Couple of showers coming across Alexandra Park too at the moment. We'll be there at the park for the first of 11. Mark Cookson setting the scene for us just before 6 o'clock. Here's the call at Bendigo, race number 3.
And again. What a guns here. Start of Oasis. Punga Focus, Diamond Diamond, Victor Sayada. Starting signal, Bendigo. About to be boxed now, race 3, starting signal. Moving in Bendigo. Thanks, Richard and Gasty, and good afternoon to you both. And they're moving in here. Diamond's the short price favourite in box 7 at 260 fixed. All in set to go, 500 the distance here. Diamond 7, the Black Vest, the favourite. Set. Racing. And Diamond to the outside jump fairly well. Is trying to spear up towards the lead now. Diamond whipping around the outside. Hit the lead down the back straight over to Optimist, who's running second about 3 lengths away back on the inside. Here's Dr. Cadenza going past it there. Victor Sayada on the outer. They were followed then by Limburg Gunner out to the tail of the field. Mapunga Focus and State of Oasis turning for home though. Diamond about 2 or 3 out in front. True Optimist trying hard, going up on the inside. Diamond and True Optimist. True Optimist, the reserve, went home too well and beat Diamond. Third up would be Victor Sayada. A gap of the race now to out of Gunner. They were followed then by Mapunga Focus. Further back here would have been Dr. Cadenza in company with Limburg Gunner, State of Oasis. The time around 28.38.
Be 10, 7 and 8. The reserve greyhound successful there and did it nicely in the end. Got over the top. We're off to Richmond. Trackside 1. It's a maiden final, race 1, meeting code 39. You've got a minute to invest here. Phil Roberts, our caller in the first, has gone for 2 to beat 1, 4 and 5. He's gone for Marfay Marie, $5.175, ahead of Betty Doorbuster, 11s and 3s. Good money for his second pick there. 4 Imperial Court, third's your favourite, 270 the bookmakers. But the tote favourite is number 7, Our Valley. Didn't find that in his numbers, had the 5 in for fourth. 2, 1, 4 and 5 for your caller Phil Roberts here in the first on meeting 39 at Richmond. Betty Doorbuster has been racing boxes 3, 6, 2, gets go out of box 1. Pretty nice money. 3, 6, 8 and 2 for Matt Nichols. He's gone Super Saga. Start 4 today as each of the placings will win a second and a third from 3 starts. Here's the call from the first at Richmond, crossing trackside to Phil Roberts.
Richmond today, sun's shining, track's in good condition, quite mild conditions really, and They're moving over for the first. Late mail in the first is for the favourite, number 4, Imperial Court. It's got out to 270, but then back into 250, so the support has come. And it's pretty wide after that. No real money for Just a Grant. 7 to 8 for Our Valley, and number 2, Marfay Marie, has been 460 to 5. So best money with the favourite here for race 1. Being loaded away. Second line going in. There goes the green light for the first event at Richmond this afternoon. Favourite in 4, Imperial Court. They're set. Ready. Racing began nicely, Imperial Court, with Betty Doorbuster and Marfay Marie into third spot. Then Super Saga Our Valley. On the outside was Just a Grant and 7 Style. Back at the rear with Mindy's a Marble. Into the back, favourite took over, Imperial Court. Got 3 in front of Our Valley running to second. Super Saga into third. And then Marfay Marie, Just a Grant, 7 Style. Last 2, Mindy's a Marble and Betty Doorbuster. Favourite leads down the side, Imperial Court. Our Valley makes ground. Third spot, Super Saga. Then Marfay Marie. Imperial Court leads them into the straight. Our Valley in second spot coming after it. Imperial Court, Our Valley grabs it on the outside. Our Valley over Imperial Court, Super Saga and Marfay Marie. Just a Grant, 7 Style, Mindy's a Marble and Betty Doorbuster.
7, 4 and 3. 7, 4 and 3. Our Valley, $9.60 and $5.40 takes out the first today from Richmond. 7.5 out from the third at Hatrick, our next live. But right, let's head to the park and set the scene very shortly for 11 races tonight at Alexandra Park, and Mark Cookson on track, and I believe there's a bit of a shower or two coming across the park. 18 the high, crossing to 11 tonight. Cloudy periods, couple of showers, gusty northwesterly, and gee, it was gusty last night in the city of Sales. It's been horrible weather here in the last 3 days. A bit more like Wellington really, but in Auckland. All clear in the first 6. Corroboree in race 2 is the defection. Will start race number 3. Race number 4 on the card. Take out 6 Miranda Piper and 11 Pedro Downs. Majestic Gal, the 2 out of the 5th. Race 6 Perfect Storm, a late defection, and 2 Brighton Delight. All clear the 7th. Race 8 Scratch 11 Beyond the Silence. They will start the 9th. All clear race 10 and also race number 11. Right, let's get on track to Cookie and set the scene at Alexandra Park tonight. G'day, Mark Cookson. How are you this evening?
Very well, thank you, Ryan Bradley. And I tell you what, you mentioned Wellington. I think in the forecast they were expecting some gusts of 90 kilometres per hour tonight. There certainly is quite a strong breeze. A wee bit different to a couple of weeks ago when we certainly had spring-like conditions. There's been high cloud, a bit of misty rain about, and we're expecting to see a few showers like we have had a few minutes ago throughout the night tonight. So it's going to be interesting old weather conditions for almost spring now. We're right on the door with the big thoroughbred racing, and we've got 11 races tonight here at Alexandra Park. Some quite nice fields too. Big fields, 11 races for this time of year. Very, very good. Might be a combination of the week-to-week Cambridge Alexandra Park, the new handicapping system, and also the incentives to owners and trainers that the team here at Alexandra Park have come up with. Best bet tonight with a couple of sub $2 favourites later on tonight. Looking for something that might get you a wee bit more money. I'm going to go with St Michelle in race number 5. It's done me good in the past for Brent Mangos. He'll be taking the drive on 1 over to Moon this evening with Tony Hurler here across with Le Monde. So I like St Michelle in race number 5. Race 6 will get the pick 6 underway, $25,000. And race number 8 tonight kicks off a $40,000 guaranteed quaddie. So plenty of incentives to play tonight's meeting at Alexandra Park. What about the multi? So I've chucked in St Michelle. Go big or go home in terms of the final field win. Mr Euroman will be the best of the Hurley stable, according to Tremaine Thorby in the media. Tony not here tonight, obviously, so Brent Mangos will drive 1 over to Moon. Can certainly win off the 50 metres. It was very impressive, the run of the night here 2 weeks ago. Arden's Choice, final field win, $1.90. It's back tonight. Zach Butcher, will talk to him later on. He dominated the night here 2 weeks ago. Stunning Shadows, one of 2 chances in that race. So I'm going for a place in that particular event. And Luna Demille to finish us off the inside. Should expect an improved effort, but a place chance there in that last to maybe get us through that multi there. So a bit ambitious for the multi, certainly a wee bit later on in the evening. So that's a look at tonight's action at Alexandra Park. We're not too far away from the first here. Ryan Bradley at 5:56.
Tell you what I'm doing, Cookie. I'm subbing out. I think your multi's excellent, but I'm going to take out Mr. Euroman from race 6, $1.10. You can't multi that. I'm going to put in Full Speed Ahead. Todd McFarlane, I think it's a good chance. Sat Park last time, $2.75 the place. And I spoke to Cameron Shaw, who equals the trials out at Pukekohe. He thought it was a good each way bet. So I'm going to chuck that in at $2.75 and get that Mr. Euroman out of there at $1.10. You're probably right, it probably will place, but I'm just wanting to spice that up a bit more. Good multi, Cookie. Looking forward to the action tonight, and we'll be with you for your first at the park at 4 minutes to 6 o'clock. There's the result from Bendigo. We're upon race number 3 at Wanganui, and Rozzo, off the back of a great call, 1 through to 8 in race number 2. What are the chances of that happening again?
At this point in time, you have to argue that, well, expecting the 1 to win, aren't we? So, yeah. But what have I got? I've gone 1, 6, 8 and 2 for what it's worth there. What I can tell you, Ryan, is that Vanessa Trass, the secretary here of the Wanganui Greyhound Racing Club, has been able to tell me very quickly that the last time it happened at a Wanganui meeting was the 19th of September 2008. So not far off 8 years ago. 19th September 2008, the last time a 1 to 8 finish for the Wanganui Club. As to other parts of New Zealand, not too sure as of yet. But anyway, a bit of trivia to liven up the early part of the Friday night. Not that we need livening up because we've got some good racing here. And indeed across the weekend, haven't we? With the Memsey Stakes, and it's in Australia, of course, and the McPhee signalling the beginning of spring racing. 2 minutes out here. Frappuccino off the inside's very short, but like Corborn Gun, it's been backed in even shorter than it was this morning. 2 from 2, box 1. The only time he was beaten here was 3 starts ago, a fortnight ago, over the 520 metres, where he missed the start from box 8. He got up on heels coming off the back when he was still a winning chance, but went back through the field. He had a miss at Cambridge. Well, that's excusable. It's foreign loan for him, and he didn't get the best of runs there either. And then I thought he had every chance, really, to beat his kennel mate, Map My Run, on Monday. He failed by a head to get up. Well, the inside makes it easy for him. Be interesting to see what Corborn Serena does off the 2, because she was last out and then ran wide on Monday, and she steps to 520 metres for the first time. This dog will be interesting. Mr. Mays, he had one crack at the 520 metres 3 starts back, and he ran on quite nicely for third to Corborn Foxy and Allegro Beatty, and since then had a sprint where he headed for second at Hatrick, and then was close up behind Map My Run and Frappuccino on Monday over the 457 metres. And he's out of Bonnie Boucher and is a brother to Autumn Lights, who's in the 8 here, and she was actually nominated for a distance recently, and she does keep sort of pressing on over the 520 metres. And Autumn Lights downgrades here, so she could be a chance as well to fill the minors, or even maybe pick up a win if something didn't work out for Frappuccino. And 2-dog Corborn Serena, as I say, gee, I'll be taking notes. It's her first time over the 520 metres. She is a sister to Corborn Foxy, who's won a couple of times over the trip, and Corborn Meza, who actually won over the 520 metres in Class 4 company last month. So she might be able to do it. Didn't give us a lot of confidence on Monday by coming out last, and she can be a bit tardy early and then sort of disappearing to the outside. She's won 4 from 6 on the track, all over the sprint, of course. Nitro Mary's funny at the moment. She's running a bit backwards to her early days where she was fast out and tried to hang on, and these days she's been getting back and pressing on, and she found the line strongly last Friday for second to Zimmer Frame, and found the line again in that Map My Run Mr. Mays race, Frappuccino Mr. Mays race on Monday. To the traps, race 3, Dopey Dog, Laser Engraving Class 2, 520 metres, hot favourite Frappuccino off the inside. Glad's a poppin' in the 3, another Habit in the 5, another downgrader. Black Roadstar steps up in class, box 7. Then we've got Corborn Serena, Nitro Mary, Mr. Mays, and the other downgrader, Autumn Lights, the outside. We're ready to run. Hot favourites, the inside, Frappuccino. Ready. Racing, Frappuccino step well the inside and goes to an early lead. Mr. Mays gets out quite nicely to get to a clear second. Nitro Mary handy enough, although Corborn Serena's got away better. Oh, and then runs across on a couple of them, including Autumn Lights, and getting through into third place there would be Black Roadstar. Now Autumn Lights is a clear fourth, and back behind them to another Habit Further back in the race then to Gladza Popping, Corborn, Serena and Nitro Mary bumped right back to last. In front is Frappuccino. Mr. Mays on its tail. Mile back the others headed by Black Roadstar and Autumn Lights. Frappuccino will see it through from Mr. Mays. Further back then, Black Roadstar just ahead of Autumn Lights, who was fourth, and next to go by Another Habit. Back in the race then to Gladza Popping and Nitro Mary, who got plastered at the first bend, and Corborn Serena caused that problem there. Hot favourite wins the third, Ryan, Frappuccino.
Cheers, Rosso. Yep, Frappuccino, too good. The one successful. Let's go to you, Mark Cookson. I will bid you farewell and wish you a good evening at Alexandra Park. Tip us lots of winners, so be sure to be watching. What do you like in the first?
Oh, no pressure. Thank you, Ryan. First event on the card, I tell you what, we'll catch up with Zach Butcher momentarily. If I had my time over again, I probably wouldn't put it on top. Let's hear what Zach Butcher, a man who dominated the meeting here, the first meeting back of the season. He's on 5 winners already this season and top driver in the North Island. Ricky May and Blair Orange had good nights last night and over the past week, so they're ahead of Zach Butcher. But let's hear what Zach Butcher had to say about his drive in the first in Demoiselle. Zach, race number 1 tonight, Demoiselle, has only had the one placing. Will you be looking for at least a placing tonight?
Yeah, she should go a good race again, but probably been driving her a little bit tough. We'll be looking for a more conservative run tonight and hoping she gets home on it.
There we go, that's Zach Butcher's thoughts there around Demoiselle, the mare by Angus Hall. There's been a bit of support for Bro Fawkes S, who's got that race day experience. 3 placings from the 4 starts, and we'll draw the inside here in this standing start trot. It's for the MRs, so maiden trot to kick us off tonight. 3 I Am the Greatest. John and Josh Dickey Prepare qualified on its own on the 12th, so a couple of weeks ago, prior to the meeting getting underway the other day. Josh Dickey taking the drive, and this son of great success is a 5-year-old, so taking a wee while to get to the races. And he's got support tonight. $3.60 with the bookmakers, opened at $4 last night. He's $3.50 tote favourite ahead of the race day experience in Bro Fawkes S. And then number 11 in the book, which is Granado. James Stormont will take the drive for Richard Brosnan's. Had a couple of placings here at the park, including in behind Chevron's Sweetheart 2 weeks ago. Aaron White will come up to you and say a very good evening to you at Alexandra Park as a heavy shower comes across the track.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the order of the night, isn't it? Heavy rain, and the wind is coming right up the home straight here too, so they're going to be in a really strong headwind in the home straight. Good tailwind down the back straight, but yes, it's going to be an interesting night here. Some good deep fields for us to work through. $25,000 pick six, that $40,000 quaddie towards the end of the night as well. All things to look forward to. 1, 11, 3 and 6 for me in the opener. Bro Fawkes, yes, the last 2 placing strong. Sean Grayling could be in for a nice night. Sean, this one for Ray Darby. The 11 Granado will have the Pegasus Spur gelding somewhere in the mix. Should be finding the line okay. James Stormont. 3 I Am the Greatest around its trial form. Must be considered. Punters certainly haven't missed it, sending it out favourite on debut. And 6 Lundquist I thought was okay 3 weeks ago, fresh up at Cambridge, Glen Wolfenden for Matthias Hamarsson. 1, 11, 3 and 6, just 2 late scratchings on the card to notify punters about here, Mark. Race 6, number 1, Perfect Storm. Race 8, number 11, Beyond the Silence. 2 late scratchings on the program tonight.
Thank you, Aaron. Back with you shortly ahead of the first race tonight, which is the Tony Herlihy leading trainer driver here at Alexandra Park in the 2015-16 season. Tony's not here tonight. His big chance won over Damoon. He's also got Mr. Euroman, Tremaine Thorby from the stable in the Alexandra Park media pointing out that'll be the best chance tonight. But Tony, away in Melbourne with Temporale ahead of Sunday's quest for Breeders' Crown victory. But race number 1 will be named after him, as he had a great season here around Alexandra Park. Race 2 tonight's named after Jack McKinnon, who on UDR has been crowned leading junior driver this season here at Alexandra Park. We'll catch up with him around the runners he drives, and of course he's working full-time now for Robert Dunn, who's away tonight. He's over with Franco Cristiano, along with Dexter. John's on holiday. So we'll catch up with Jack McKinnon.
The first of 11 for the Auckland Trotting Club, and Square Gators face up to a starter Frank Phelan for the AG Hurley leading trainer driver 2015-16 season trot. They're underway. Helen Shapiro's blowing the start, as to Speedy Lavros. A wee bit tardy too was King David, Halley's Last, and also now Tuimata Lass and Monty Lupo have gone for early gallops. First away, I Am the Greatest now moving up on the outside of Broforks S as they trot around the stables corner. Demoiselle makes a safe beginning. They're followed in a break, as I said. Demoiselle's name, she's rolled into a gallop there. Lundquist about to get underneath her with Granado and Halley's Last. They're followed then by King David, who's back down and trotting as they're about to turn up into the back with Monty Lupo to its inside. Tuimata Lass is off stride again. Further back was Speedy Lavros and then Helen Shapiro. That'll be the last as they trot through the back. Another one up front galloped, and that was the race favourite, I Am the Greatest. So Broforks S with a lead time of 52.5. Leads away by 3. I Am the Greatest back down and trotting will secure the trail for Joshua. They're followed by Demoiselle and Lundquist up on the outside. Halley's Last. King David into the 1-1. Back on the inside, Granado. They're followed then by Monty Lupo. Further back in the field, Speedy Lavros. And a long margin away now to Tuimata Lass. And also back in the field there too was Helen Shapiro. As they work to the corner, and now Halley's Last has galloped as they swung into the lane. The opening quarter in 33.6 as they negotiate this fierce headwind. And the leader is Broforks S from I Am the Greatest. Up on the outside, Demoiselle now third in Park. Lundquist fourth and 3 back on the inside as they pass the judge, and the 1-1 is King David. Granado on the inside of Montelupo, 3 lengths away in the field then to a Speedy Lavros, a margin of 6 away to Halley's Last. Those are the winning chances. Further away to Tuimata Lass, and back with that is Helen Shapiro. 800 metres left to trot. The second quarter in 33.4. Broforks S and Sean Grayling lead by a little over a length. Demoiselle, I Am the Greatest. King David 1-1, then Lundquist, Monty Lupo, Granado back on the inside, just held up in a pocket at this stage, 600 out, and then Speedy Lavros. They trot to the end of the back straight. Broforks S leads a half. Demoiselle the outside. I Am the Greatest. There followed King David, Lundquist. Granado's about to get to the outside as they sweep across the showgrounds turn, and then Speedy Lavros back straight quarter, 30.6. Demoiselle now just getting the measure of Broforks S. I Am the Greatest. Granado looking to run the race out strongly. Galloping in front of him was I Am the Greatest as they come for home. Demoiselle, Broforks S kicks back strongly. 3 lengths Granado, Lundquist. Broforks S, Demoiselle, Granado closing in 100 to go. Broforks S from Demoiselle, Granado grinding away on the outside. Broforks S, Granado tries hard, but Broforks S will be a maiden no longer. Broforks S to beat Granado. Lundquist for third. Photo fourth between Demoiselle, Speedy Lavros, a good run after an early mistake, and out wider on the track then to the race favourite I Am the Greatest, who put in a few mistakes through the run, including a costly one as they swung for home. Further back in the field then was King David. Halley's Last was back in the field, as to Helen Shapiro, Montelupo, and Tuimata Lass was back with those in 302.1. Trying conditions out there tonight. Broforks S, well, he had to brave the headwind twice, and he's done it in pretty good fashion too, to hold out the late advance of Granado. Lundquist has made up nice ground through on the inside to pick up third, and Demoiselle will just hold that fourth placing in the AG. Tony the Iceman Hurley leading trainer driver 2015 trot.
Official placings, race 1, the AG Hurley leading trainer driver on the 2015-26 season trot. 111.6.483. 111.6.483. Horse 1, Broforks S, trotted the 2200 metres from a stand in 302.13. It's a mile rate of 213.23. Last 862.5 and the 431.8. The margins 1 1/4 lengths, a long neck, a half neck. 111.6, 483, race 1. The AG Hurley leading trainer and driver, trot.
Judge Graham McLennan with the first call of the night, and it goes the way of Bro Forks. Yes, win 1 at start number 5, raced by GR Dormer. Tony Grayling along with the Ray Derby. Congratulations to you. Been knocking on the door for a win, and it comes tonight for the Umbro Invasion. Honey Hellink, a 6-year-old by gelding. Ray Derby trained at Patamahoe. Sean Grayling doing the driving. Mariaki Simons was the breeder of Bro Forks. Yes, back there at the head of the field, David Turner, race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, down there, part of the victory celebrations. 11 Granado, Pegasus Spur strapless, 5-year-old bay gelding. Mrs. P.A. Donnell, Miss S.D. Brosnan, L.M. Gurney, Mrs. J.L. Brosnan, the owners. Richard Brosnan trained Ardmore, James Stormont second, and in for a third we had the sixth, that being Lundquist, a CR Commando, Tahoro Bliss, a 5-year-old bay entire. MJ Hamarson, the owner. Matthias Hamarson trained out of Pukekohe and Glen Wolfenden. Gets a placing back here at the park. Bro Forks S number 1, $3.70 the win, $1.30 the place, $3.70 $1.30. 11 Granado, $2.20, $2.20, and 6 Lundquist at $3.70, $3.70. Quinella, $7.60, $7.60. The 1, 11 and 6 trifecta, $133.60, $133.60. And the first 4, $575.90, $575.90, 1, 11, 6 and 4 in that first 4. The Jack McKinnon leading junior driver, 2015 mobile pace over the 2,200 metres to open the early quaddie and also the first of our doubles. Quaddie pool currently at $5,500 and 3 step up $250 and $1.40. 7 Tassie's Devil 722.40. Concord number 12 at 10 and $2.90. 2 got to go elect to bet 10 and $3.30. He's Novak number 1 11 and $2.20. Your top 5 favourites for the second, which is time to go at 23 minutes after 6.
Rockstar drops in behind at second. Enough room created there. Getting into third spot, Amy's Whisper. Moving up 3 wide, Just a Tick. Harira away from the inside. Then Corporal Jujon. Royal Luck. Second last, Yes Brother Yes. And 20 metres away at the tail. Let's Play Ball. That opening quarter, 27.2. Leading the way, it's Readily. Readily in front. Just a Tick goes up to face the breeze. Montana Rockstar. Leaders back. Harira is fourth, 1 by 1. Amy's Whisper fifth. 3 back on the inside. Corporal Jujon the favourite. Midfield the moving line yet to be called on. The inside was Royal Luck. Then Let's Play Ball. And back at the tail is Yes Brother Yes. The second quarter 31.4. Down the back straight. It's Readily in front. Readily leads the way by 4 metres. Just a Tick is now niggled out on the outside. Montana Rockstar leaders back. Corporal Jujon starting a move now. Sweeps around them 3 wide. Amy's Whisper the inside. Harira next. Then Royal Luck. Luck, Yes Brother Yes, and Let's Play Ball. Third quarter, 29.5. Readily shows the way. Just a Tick tries hard. 3 wide, Corporal Jujon still winding up. Montana Rockstar badly held up on the inside. Then Amy's Whisper. They're into the home straight. It's Readily and Just a Tick. Corporal Jujon wider. Montana Rockstar back to the inside, out wide. Corporal Jujon hits top gear. Just a Tick goes with it. Just a Tick in front, and Just a Tick. Just a Tick, big win, beating Corporal Jujon. Photo third, Readily or Montana Rockstar. Next in, Yes Brother Yes, Amy's Whisper. Harira, Royal Luck, Let's Play Ball. 29-3, 157-1.
So an upset there in the fourth at Albion Park. Alyssa calling the 4 home there over the 3. The 4 over the 9, Corporal Jujon it was, of course, and the 3 and the 5 in a photo for the Miners. But we'll get those full dividends to you as soon as we can. There's the side on 4, 9, and gee, that's close. 3 over the 5 potentially. Oh, maybe the inside there. My eyes aren't the best anymore these days, so jeepers, I'd have to get the binoculars out to see that from my vantage point. Maybe the 3, but we'll let them sort that out, given they're paid the big bucks to do so. Meeting 9 Raced before heading off to Wanganui. Rosso, as I say, very good evening to you. A pleasure to be working with you yet again. And Subic Bay, fresh off a track record equalling run last start, $1.60 favourite, no surprises there.
Good evening, Jess. Yes, look, he has picked things nicely the last week, hasn't he, Manukau, and then prior to that here on Friday night too, where he had been a little bit tardy there for a few starts and it had cost him some wins. He'd still been running big races, but he had to overcome those slow starts. Well, he boomed out from box 7 last week. He posted a 17.40 on a track that wasn't quick. And on the subject of our track, first race was 18.08, which might have been more to do with the way the race was run. Certainly that opening sectional, but Corborn Gunner off a slow beginning posted a 17.64, which for a Class 2 sprint, very respectable. And then Frappuccino's come out in a 30.18 and had Mr. Maze on its tail. In fact, we departed quite quickly for that second race, so if you didn't catch up with that, Frappuccino, a 30.18 with a 5.03 lead up. And the back mark, excellent, 18.39, 11.79 run home. Albion Park there, the 4, 34.90, 4.80 over the 9 $1, and the 5 $1.70, Quinella 11.90, which is pretty grim when you've got a $35 winner. 186.10 the trifecta, and the 4, 9, a 5, and the field, $16,801.60. It's only struck partially. You'd have to think with that inflated div. The treble 1, 2 and 4, $129.90. So there is Subic Bay looking to make it 3 straight. Drawn outside Al's Girl, who is a very reliable jumper and sort of holds her own centre track, but he's a pretty strong, robust boy, Subic Bay. Put paid to her if he gets his chance, but he might have the option to go under depending on just how well he jumps tonight. 6 dog, Lone Star Lad. If Subic Bay was to dwell, he might be one to take advantage. Having said that, he hasn't exactly got off the lids that well himself. Last week, in fact, off box 5, he was slow to go, and the last 2 times he's been here, he's been quite slow to go. The time prior was box 1, and he scrambled sort of second straight on the mat, and he still recovered okay, but he finished about 5th on that occasion. Looking back, yeah, that was 4 starts back. And then last week, he was slow away again, and he loomed up on the corner. You'd think he was the winner. He looked short price to win on the corner, and he just got a wee bit of a touch up from Mega Jet on his inside. Just screwed him slightly sideways, knocked him a wee bit off balance, and he didn't pick up Val Baxter. He can't get away better. We'll see if he does tonight, and he could make life interesting at longer rods. 2 dog, 1 broke girl. I see he's up a kilo here. She's got box 2. She had box 2 back and didn't use it. All in Berlin, the inside dog, is one that does move away from the rail. Now, she actually won, the last time she had box 1 was back in May, and she won. She wanted out initially, and then she sort of held about 2 to 3 widths wide, and then she came really wide into the straight, but she had the race won by then. There might be an opportunity for 1 broke girl here to get to the rail if she doesn't jump that well. Val Baxter steps up in class. Effective Power, I was quite keen on her to place a fortnight ago, but she never got into the race, and she's got Big Boy Deno on her outside, and he's a dog who definitely likes to be closer in. To the traps, race 4, First Security Class 5 sprint, all in Berlin off the inside with Val Baxter in 3 and the hot favourite Subic Bay, and out in 7 is Effective Power. Second line, One Broke Girl, Els Girl, Lone Star Lad and Big Boy Dino the outside. Ready to run, hot favourites off the 5, Subic Bay. Set. Racing, Subic Bay out fairly here, but best away is Els Girl. There's room for Subic Bay round the outside. All in Berlin's there, the inside. One Broke Girl trying to push through. Further back then to Val Baxter. Lone Star Lad in the last pair here. Effective Power and Big Boy Dino. Subic Bay is still trying to chase down All in Berlin, who's holding. All in Berlin will beat Subic Bay. Els Girl holds third there narrowly from One Broke Girl and Val Baxter and Lone Star Lad. Effective Power and Big Boy Dino. All in Berlin has jumped and held Subic Bay at bay. Subic Bay had to try and get around All in Berlin and Els Girl. You would have thought that he probably could have across the top, but he just couldn't get over the top of All in Berlin, and it's a 17.64. Same time they ran in the Class 2 sprint final, 1, 5, 4 and 2. Let's watch them from the start here. All in Berlin out a couple of widths. One Broke Girl did get to the rail. Els Girl is holding Subic Bay at this point. Thought here Subic Bay was in a good spot, especially when it got to that point there. By that time, All in Berlin's only one width away from the rail, and she does go wide into the straight. But Subic Bay, I think, probably across the top had his chance. And what looked like being the skinniest quaddie for some time will now no longer be, because All in Berlin has gone back to back here for Brian Marsh, who leads the Greyhound back. 6.93's been the leader. And it's 1, 5, 4 and 2 in race number 4. All in Berlin by Dinah Lachlan out of Moore Model. Brian Marsh races with the partner Susie Kite. Win 18 at start number 85 for her. Holding out the hot favourite Subic Bay and Els Girl, who just continues to place on a weekly basis. She did run 4 starts or 5 starts back now, I guess. But she's a very reliable beginner. 3/4 of a length, 2 lengths and a neck have been the margins here in race number 4. Race 5 tonight, a laser plumbing class 5, 305 metres. Late scratching of the 6 Ritzer Roman field of 7 to go round. Still 3 place dividends on the tote. And we'll be underway with that, Jess, at 6:34.
Thank you, Rosso. And gee, an upset there. Oh, big proportions, but All in Berlin, the winner, and bookies will be breathing a sigh of relief. $11.10 and $2.90 would have put paid to a few multis, I'd suggest, there this evening. 5 Subic Bay was game, but just couldn't get around traffic issues. $1 back, and 4 Els Girl, $1.80. The Quinella 1 and 5, $6.80. Trifecta 1, 5 and 4, $149 even. First 4, 1, 5, 4 and 2, $494.40 in the fourth. The double 1 and 1, $17.50. And the concession 1 and 5, $1. Race number 4, bidding code 9 at Hatrick. We're back with Rosso for race 5. That'll be kicking off at 6:34 tonight, first of a double. Heading off to Alexandra Park now, the first of the quaddie tonight, also the first of a double. We've got a $25,000 pick 6. As I say, a very good evening to Mark Cookson. Mark, great to be joining you this evening. We've got some very nice horses in this lineup in terms of pedigree. Tassie's Devil was the favourite early on, but Step Up now at $3 and $1.35 out of the great family of Christopher Vance, and also Gotta Go Elect a Bet out of Elect to Live. Good evening to you.
And to you as well, Jess. Great to be working with you. And yeah, a bit different. I'm out here braving the conditions this time, and I tell you what, the weather comes with well-timed runs before the first. It upset a lot of those maiden trotters, including the favourites, and it's come again, the wind and the squally rain ahead of race number 2 tonight. And yeah, Step Up and Tassie's Devil. Now, Tassie's Devil won a workout at Cambridge prior to the first up, 4th here at the park 2 weeks ago to Mo Casino. Another big chance tonight, and Step Up, we'll hear from Scott Phelan shortly, the best of the night from the Telfer Garlic team in his opinion. Here's a look at the early quaddie tonight. Second quaddie will have a $40,000 guarantee, but this is the first of them. He's Novak off the inside, a good chance for Anna Donnelly. Chucked in Step Up, of course, and Tassie's Devil, and this excuse is fine for Ollie and Irene Haynes, having its second run in the north for John and Josh Dickey, formerly with Tony Barron. first run at Alexandra Park, chuck that in. Second leg, check in off the inside, huge chance again. Quick Cullen, one of the debutantes for J. Abernathy. 7 in the book is Acceptance. Chucked Acceptance in. Finished home on the inside at the trial before the meeting here 2 weeks ago, and as you mentioned before, Jess, and last night on the radio from Richard Wilson, obviously a lot of punters coming for Acceptance since the market's open, so got that one in. And 10 Accumulator, one of 2 for Barry Purdon that went head-to-head in the workout the other day. We'll hear from Zach Butcher prior to that one. Race 4, Poppy Drayton, the 1, 2 Shield Maiden, 3 Ra Risa. Zach Butcher's best of the night for Barry Purdon. It's taken a wee while to come into racing, this 4-year-old mare now. Was $1.65 last night. Another huge chance on debut. Things look to have been rectified there, any issues that the horse had. And Lincoln Superstar, number 8, in the final leg, 1 and 8. Inky Rowe, giving it another chance tonight. It broke 2 weeks ago. Has the pole draw, the inside draw, standing start trot, and also my best bet, St. Michelle, giving it another go, since it's delivered for me before and was a really good performance here 2 weeks ago. Fresh up, first run since April. You can see the flags there as those wind gusts continue. We'll get to the first of our interviews. Race number 2 tonight is the Jack McKinnon, leading junior driver of 2015-16 here at Alexandra Park Mobile Pace. Jack was in quite a battle. In fact, was equally the top driver in terms of wins, so they had to revert to UDR to find Jack McKinnon as the top junior driver here around Alexandra Park. Had his best season in terms of driving, and he now works full-time with Robert Dunn. He's out there driving Defy the Odds for the stable. A short time ago, I caught up with him. Jack, top driver at Alexandra Park. Congratulations. What do you think you put that down to?
I think I had a lot of luck throughout the season, and I had a lot of support from good trainers, and I got on some good horses, so I think it was a combination of those things. But yeah, I suppose in the end it just came down to UDR, so it was close.
Quite a number of those winners were trotters. Do you have a wee bit more of an affinity, you think, with them?
I think I just drive more of them. That's probably why I get more winners on them. But yeah, I suppose I've just had better trotters to drive than I have paces, so yeah.
How's things been since you moved over to work full-time with Robert?
Really good. I'm getting a lot more opportunities, and I think I'm driving better, so yeah, it's been good.
You're still training 1 or 2 yourself?
I've got 1 at the moment, but wouldn't like to get any more because I'm pretty busy, but yeah.
Certainly keeping you busy with Robert away at the moment. Race number 2 tonight, Defy the Odds. Been away for a wee while.
Yeah, he'll need the run tonight, but I guess we'll just see how he goes with the next few weeks, but I mean, probably later on with the right run, he'd sneak a place somewhere, so yeah.
All right, that's Jack McKinnon. Certainly a watch horse only, this one, Defy the Odds, I'd say, from a punting perspective. Better chance, Oklahoma Thunder, debutant from the stable in race number 3. We'll hear from him prior to race number 6 too. He drove No Doctor Needed at the workouts the other day, and all things being equal and all good, tomorrow at the workouts with Scott Phelan driving the horse. Next week, Jack McKinnon will be back driving so that the horse can qualify for that race as a claiming junior there, Jack McKinnon. Speaking of Scott Phelan, he's driving Step Up, and as Jess mentioned, a big go, was into $3 a couple of seconds ago, back out to $3.10, opened last night at $4.60, and a short time ago I caught up with Scott Phelan driving Step Up. Scott, race number 2 tonight, Step Ups. Run a couple of nice races from similar draws. How do you think this horse will shape up against these tonight?
Yeah, look, she's been going pretty good races of late, so with a good draw, she should sort of end up handy at the start, and look, I think she's a pretty good chance.
That is Scott Phelan, and punters think so too. $4.60 into $3 out to $3.10. Tassie's Devil's been the drifter, but still the second elect in the market. Zach Butcher, I think I said he ran a place in the first, my apologies, ran 4th, almost a placing in that first race. He drives here Concord for Stephen Reid and Simon McMillan. Race number 2 tonight, Zach. Concord's coming out of amateur drivers races and gets the second row draw back here at the park.
Yeah, he's been racing honest enough, but he's going to need a bit of luck. He's one that's sort of always there, but he probably can't do his work to get into the race, so same sort of thing, looking for a little bit of luck during the run, and he'll be thereabouts at the finish.
gets into this race as a $4,000 claimer, hence why as a rating 59 it can qualify for this race, which is a rating 52 to 58, and then the claimers get in Concord and Chantalia Knight. Of the other two, or of the others, He's Novak, $7, been a big drifter. Anna Donnelly, trainer driver, and then number 2 in the book, Gotta Go Elect to Bet, hasn't had a lot of luck recently. Maybe the fortunes could be turned around on a return to Alexandra Park after these recent Cambridge runs. It's had 2 placings here from 6 starts. Aaron White, upstairs to you for your thoughts on race 2.
3, 1, 7 and 5 here, Mark. Step up for me. I thought he was a good 4th a couple of weeks ago in behind Killer Queen in a slick time. A nice winner 2 starts ago back in the 22nd of July meeting here. Scott Phelan for the Telfer Garlic team. He's Novak, fitter for 2 runs back and comes up with the plum draw. The inside here for Anna Donnelly. The 7 Tassie's Devil. He'll also strip fitter for his fresh up run a couple of weeks ago in behind Mo Casino. And Janet Guthrie also comes out of the Killer Queen race. I thought she did a good enough job after a nice maiden success 2 starts back. James Stormont, Derek Ball. 3, 1, 7 and 5 for me, Mark, to open the early quaddie.
Thank you, Aaron. This one, race number 2, 6:23 the start time. I've gone 3, 7, 8 and 1 in this one, certainly with Step Up on top. Tassie's Devil, and this excuse is fine. We saw it just a short while ago for the Hayneses. So with Tony Barron, he's off the mark with his brother Ken in Christchurch now after Addington last night. This excuse is fine has come from Tony's stable, and now with John and Josh Dickey. It's second up at the races, first run right-handed here around Alexandra Park, has got the sliding blinds on. And if you want something else, possibly the likes of Janet Guthrie, James Stormont for Derek Ball, raced by Owen Gillies, a winner here at the park at the end of last month, beating Shield Maiden, who will go around in the not-too-distant future.
Up onto the yellow bar arm for the second, the Jack McKinnon leading junior driver 2015. Mobile Pace, Got to Go Elect to Bet, and He's Novak on the inside. Kill Lady on the second line, Step Up. Comes forward with Bourbon Street and Tassie's Devil. This excuse is fine. Janet Guthrie, Lucky Luciano's drawn the inside of the second row. Jack Bates and Concord. Lane, Chantalia Knight, defy the odds outside of the second. Jack McKinnon. This race in his honour is our leading UDR strike rate junior driver from the last season. We're just about there. Green light up, and the Jack McKinnon leading junior driver Pace Field sent on their journey, and out strongly Janet Guthrie, but Bourbon Street Step Up. They want to race with it, as to Got to Go Elect to Bet as they find the first corner. Then He's Novak, followed by Tassie's Devil. There followed Kill Lady, Lucky Luciano. Back in the field then is Chantalia Knight, Concord. This excuse is fine as back second last, defy the odds, and Jack McKinnon sneaking runs through on the marker line back last. So Got to Go Elect to Bet, and the Chief David Butcher hold up the lead over He's Novak. 3 lengths Lucky Luciano. Step Up sits out parked on the outside here for Scott Phelan. Coming forward out 3 Tassie's Devil. Then Kill Lady there, followed by Concord, and up on the outside Jack Bates. Then Chantalia Knight, defy the odds. This excuse is fine. Janet Guthrie's gone back to second last, and back last as they swing off the back in a lead time of 44.1 was Bourbon Street. So they sweep across the showgrounds turn, and Got to Go Elect to Bet by a couple. He's Novak striding forward, Chantalia Knight to get outside the leader. That'll give Step Up now 1-1 cover. Lucky Luciano 3 back on the inside of Tassie's Devil, then Concord and Kill Lady. Defy the odds on the inside of Jack Bates as they swing into the lane in the opening quarter, cut out in 31.2. Back in the field, Bourbon Street the inside of This Excuse is Fine. Janet Guthrie the last, down to the Judge Bell, and 1 to go. Got to Go Elect to Bet. The Better's Delight Mare will stride into the final circuit over Chantalia Knight. He's Novak, Step Up 1-1. Lucky Luciano back on the inside for Dylan Ferguson. Trapped away 3 back on the markers. Tassie's Devil to its outside. On its back is Concord. Defy the odds, the inside as Janet Guthrie starts her run now out 3 wide as they pace out to the 800. Then Kill Lady, Bourbon Street, Jack Bates. This excuse is fine. 31-5 the second quarter. Through the back goes Got to Go Elect to Bet a neck. Chantalia Knight, He's Novak's had a lovely run in the trail, and 1-1 Step Step Up. Janet Guthrie moves into the race out 3. Lucky Luciano the inside. Then Tassie's Devil Defy the odds. Kill Lady Concord out 3 with cover. Bourbon Street third last the inside. This Excuse is fine. Jack Bates back with it. 400 left to go. Back straight quarter in 29.8. And it's got to go Elect to Bet leading from Janet Guthrie. Step Up Tassie's Devil. They sweep around the outside. He's Novak sweeting the passing lane. And then Concord. Step Up drives to the lead now. 200 out. After it Tassie's Devil. Got to go Elect to Bet. He's Novak on the passing lane. Step Up. He's Novak. Comes through strongly. Got to go Elect to Bet is still there. He's Novak. Goes to Step Up. He's Novak through on the inside and Step Up down to the line. They drive for the prize. Oh, photo finish. He's Novak. Step Up and nose between them in the end. Then Got to go Elect to Bet. They were followed Concord. Then came Jack Bates and Kill Lady. Up over on the outside. Then Chantalia and Janet Guthrie with those. They were followed by Bourbon Street. Tassie's Devil in that group on pulling up. Defy the odds back with Lucky Luciano to be the last in 246.9. Home in 30 seconds. Very, very tight on the line here. And there's a bit of separation between them as well, so it does bring the outside horse a bit closer into this photo. He's Novak, though, had a lovely run on the back of Got to Go Elect to Bet. Slipped through on the passing lane. Step Up on the outside. Let's have a look. They hit it. Just, I'd say, inside. He's Novak, but only just a nose from Step Up. Got to Go Elect to Bet, and Concord will make up the first 4 in the Jack McKinnon leading junior driver 2015 mobile pace. Great finish, photo finish it will be.
Official placings, race 2, the J McKinnon leading junior driver in the 2015-2016 season mobile pace. 1, 3, 2, 12, 10, 11. 1, 3, 2, 12, 10, 11. Horse 1, He's Novak, paced the 2200 metres in 246.89. Mile rate of 2.2. Last 859.9 in the 430. The margins are nose, 1.5 lengths, 1 length. A nose, 1.5 lengths, 1 length. All official 132, 12, 10, 11. Race 2, the J McKinnon leading junior driver mobile pace.
He's Novak gets the prize, raced by Anna Donnelly and Mrs. B.M. Hurlston. Congratulations to you, career win 3 at start 14. Anna Donnelly, the trainer driver out of her Cambridge base, and the El Nicky's Dilemma 4-year-old bay gelding was bred by Mrs. C.L. Haywood along with Mrs. K.J. Phillip, Miss J. Hickman along with co-owner Mrs. B. Hurlston. Congratulations, nice win. Gets the Jack McKinnon leading junior driver 2015 pace. Jack, he'll Defy the odds back into the stable. He'll be up to be part of that victory celebrations with Roger Barnes, a race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club down in the winner's circle. 3, Step Up. Art Major 3-year-old bay filly at a dance card. Stonewall Stud Limited, Stonewall Fillies number 9 Syndicate. The owners, Steve Telfer, Chris Garlick, trained at Papakura, Scott Phelan, beaten a nose, and Got to Go Elect to Bet. Tried hard in third, the Better's Delight bay 4-year-old mare out of Elect to Live for Mrs. S.J. Martin and T.R. Hopkins, Frank Cooney, Tate Hopkins, trained at Taupaki, David Butcher. Totes will show He's Novak, number 1 at $6.80 and $1.90, $6.80 at $1.90. 3, Step Up, $1.60, $1.60 and 2, Got to Go Elect to Bet, $2.80, $2.80. Quinella returns, $9.20, $9.20. Trifecta, $125.20, $125.20. And the 1, 3, 2 and 12 first 4, $624.70, $624.70. Race 3 on the card. The maidens, plenty of debutantes in the race. Should be a Good race too. Good race to follow the form out of as well. The Grand Harbour Mobile, 2200. No scratchings. Acceptance number 7 into the tote favourite. 320, 230. Joshua Dickey. 8 Naylor, Morris McKendry, 5.10 $1.80. Laredo Torpedo number 9, Barry Purden 8 and 2.30. Accumulator the 10, Zach Butcher 8.70 2.30. 1 check in, Scott Phelan 9 and 3. Happy Magic 11, Todd Mitchell 10 and 2.70. Good luck with your bets in the third. We race in 20 minutes at 8 minutes to 7 o'clock.
He had box 1 at Cambridge, and he got run down on the straight by Scusi and jump up, but still good stuff from a dog having what was his 101st start on that occasion, his 102nd tonight, and he now gets a spare box with the late scratching of dog 6 Ritzer Roman, although he still has Cheap Shot Matty in box number 5, who's a dog that generally jumps well and certainly holds as a line, certainly doesn't go anywhere near the rail. And the 8 Sedgebrook Babe, well, she keeps placing. She's become a place special, and at times she's got home frenetically. She's really put in some back half of her races have been good to get up from where she's been. And last week, okay, yeah, she was 7 lengths off Subic Bay, but he jumped and ran last week, Subic Bay, and ran a 40. And Sedgebrook Babe came from the mid-pack or slightly behind to get up for second there. And she can certainly run into the money here again to continue that string of placings for Fred Kite. And Cheap Shot Matty certainly has to be considered. He had box 1 last week and he's really not happy in there. He has 1 from there, but he's really not that happy in there, especially in this grade where you've got dogs jumping. You know, even when he jumps well, he's still got dogs near him or on his tail at the very least. So Cheap Shot Matty out in box 5 and now a spare box on his outside, probably a bit of a bonus for him. So we scan the back straight. We started out with a remarkably clear sky. Things just opened up for us and we had some blue sky, and it was actually pretty good. The first we had sunshine, but things have closed in again since then. Racing on a dead track. There's been a couple of good times, a couple of really good performances, although the Class 5s in the previous ran the same time as the Class 2 sprinters. So more ran on the track here, and we'll monitor the progress of the track throughout the night, but holding up well at this stage. Angie Zar off the inside's become very hard to fathom. We haven't seen the best of her for some time. Happy Wife won in Class 4 company last week, steps back to Class 5. Dream Zone was a Class 4 winner 2 back. To the traps we go. Race 5, a Laser Plumbing Class 5 sprint. Angie Zar off the inside with Happy Wife, Cheap Shot Matty and Allegro Class. Second line, Vito Baxter. Dream Zone, box 6 vacant with the late scratching and Sedgebrook Babe the outside. Vito Baxter, $3.30 the tote. Jumps off box 2, ready to run. Racing, Vito Baxter a touch slow, slowest to go here. Allegro Class has missed the start. Dream Zone's barrel to the lead. Angie Zar trying to push through, can't. Vito Baxter's gone back to last. Cheap Shot Matty round the outside. Sedgebrook Babe is wider. Happy Wife punches up the middle. Wee bit closer in than Angie Zar. 2 favourites are out the back. Down they come, kicking. Dream Zone scores. Dream Zone in here from Cheap Shot Matty and Angie Zar into third. Followed across there by Sedgebrook Babe out wide, or Vito Baxter, who is punching home again the inside. Happy Wife behind that. And Allegro Class, well, it missed the start by 3 tonight. Dream Zone, the winner, the 4. It's been the rank outsider, and it's cranked the quaddie up over $600. 17.72 the winning time here. 4, 5, 1 and 8. 8 is 4th out wide. Well, Dream Zone hopped out well today, and although she had pace all around her, she's been best out. Of course, no pressure from her immediate outside. Happy Wife sort of angled into the clear. Allegro Class made a mess of things early, and then what happened to Vito Baxter? He just got on the hindquarters there of Angie Zar, as she poked off about a width. Now, his recovery's been okay, Vito Baxter, so I guess we just have to go again. But honours the winner, Dream Zone. She's by Path to Power out of Chasing Shadows for the Kettlewell, McCarthy and Simmons Syndicate. Don Kettlewell, Neville Phillips trained at Opanaki and win 8 at start number 35 here. Over Cheap Shot Maddie, who certainly tried hard to close. Angie Zara a little bit better tonight, and she got on heels. And then, of course, she had Vito Baxter into her rump as well. And Sedgebrook Babe, I thought she was a big chance across the top, but she never really rounded it off, so to speak, in the straight. 6.88 for a lead-up here. So certainly the opening sectional was good. Closing sectional, not quite so. Jess, that's race 5. Actually, we'll do the result while we're here, and then we can look forward to our 6th, which is the Aon CPF Class 2 Sprint 9 and 10 out. That goes at 7:01. Result for race 5 for Dream Zone, $32.70 and $5.90. It was a 7-dog field. 5 Cheap Shot Maddie, $2.20. 1 Angie Zar, $2.40. Quinella, $76.60. Trifecta, $931.80. Now we're talking. First 4, 4, 5, 1 and 8, $4,691.30. 3,846 carried forward to race 6. And that is really going to be one healthy pot there. And we've gone 1, 1, 1 and 4 in the quaddie, $650.10. So Jess, off $1.60, then $1.40, and then all of a sudden, things got a bit rougher back half of the quaddie with All in Berlin. And now a $32 shot Dream Zone in the last leg, and we got a $650 quaddie. Big first 4 pot coming, race 6, 7:01.
Thanks, Rosso. Duly noted there. 3,846 into race 6, which will tick off at 1 minute past 7. So looking forward to that, and we'll keep a close eye on that pool closer to start time. Meeting 34, race number 3. We head to Ipswich for the 3rd there tonight. So we're taking this race, then race 4 is a non-broadcast by the look. Race 5 is on trackside 2, as to race 6, and then we're back for race 7. So if you're following this meeting sporadically, it'll be across the 2. The 2 Spring Nakano, $3 and $1.14, $3.10 and $1.40 here in the 3rd this evening. John Brash, caller, he's gone to 5 over 2, 8 and 1. 5, 2, 8 and 1. The favourite here is the 2, so he's only put that in for 2nd. He put the 5 on top of it here. And the 5 has had 2 career starts for a win and a 2nd. So the numbers 5, 2, 8 and 1 here for John Brash. On the other side, we take race 2 from Carnarvon this evening in WA, meeting 16 race 2, taking that race and then the rest of the card on trackside 2. And the next at Alexandra Park at 6:52 this evening. Don't forget a $25,000 pick 6 tonight. Aaron's numbers for race 3 at the park, 1, 9, 11 and 7. 1, 9, 11 and 7 at Alexandra Park. It's the Grand Harbour Mobile Pace over 2,200 metres, and it does feature, of course, the horse that's been a big liability for the bookies, backed in from 14 to 4, number 7, Acceptance. So it was at $7 last night, or first thing today I should say, Acceptance, and now at $4. So it's by Bettor's Delight out of Dream Offer, and that's the big liability for the night for the bookies. So it is a field full of a few debutantes as well, very nicely bred ones. Race number 3, and we'll be there at 6:52. Looks like they're just waiting for a horse to that race to finish at Canberra. So Canberra race 7 is running, and then they'll be kicking away at Ipswich Greys for race number 3. Later on tonight, we're taking a selection of races from Melton Harness as well. Of course, the spillover from their Breeders' Crown. Big day on Sunday as well. Good luck to all the Kiwi connections, a whole raft of them. As Mark mentioned, Tony Hurley will be over there with Temporale for Breeders' Crown on Sunday at Melton. Right, Ipswich, they start to box them up for race 3.
8 Nevada, 410 the tote, $3.50 fixed. 1 Rosdew Carbine, $8, $5.50 fixed. Starting signal given, second line going forward. Spring Nakano, Euroa Kate, Nevada. Just about set to run. Green light. Set for race number 3. Already. Racing. Fast away in close was Rosduca. Mr. Bellissimo. Around them goes Vilcabamba, but it got checked and driving through Rosduke Carbine to lead. Second was Spring Nakano. Up to third, Vilcabamba. A break in the field then to Mr. Bellissimo, followed by Novella. Well back Euroa Caton Heaton's Girl down to the home corner. Wide was Rosduke Carbine. Cuts back going deep with Spring Nakano. Rosduke Carbine in front. It's holding Spring Nakano, and Rosduke Carbine 2 lengths Spring Nakano. Up to third, Vilcabamba, followed by Novella. Then came Mr. Bellissimo, Euroa Kate Heaton's Girl in around 26 seconds even. One Rosduke Carbine for Terry Chapman, the winner. Number 1, Rosduke Carbine. Second, number 2, Spring Nakano for Cole Byers. And third will be number 5, Vilcabamba for Glenn Northfield. 1-2-5. 26.05 is the time. 26.05. 12.12 is the run home time. After that, Photo 5 has got third, Vilcabamba, and number 8 is fourth, Novella. 1-2-5 at 8. 15, number 3, Mr.
1-2-5 and 8 at Ipswich, as mentioned. The next couple of races will be on trackside 2, and we're taking race 7 from that venue later on. It's a pleasure to have you with us tonight. Trust your night's going well. We head to the mighty WA now, Carnarvon, up into the bush, and we take race number 2, meeting code 16. The rest of this card, race 3 onwards on trackside 2. Once again, if you are following this meeting, do switch over to trackside 2 for the rest of the meeting. Meeting 16, race number 2. Mercurial Spur, $4.155 fixed odds. Comes into this with a couple of third placings. Was a winner 4 starts ago. Jumps in barrier 6 and carries 58 for Misty Baisley. $3.80 just drifting out to $4 and $1.55 on the fixed odds. One Roman Fighter, a winner 3 starts ago, draws out in 7, carries 62.5 for Noel Rudland. $4.20, $1.55. And Vicallo at $5.50, third last time out, carries 60. Kate Whitten, though, claims 1.5, $5.50 and $1.90, and Sentoki $5.50 and $1.80. Sentoki also finished at third last start. Hasselhoff comes into this with 2 fourth placings. Was a winner 4 starts ago. It's long at 16 and $4.50, slightly short of the tote, 11 and $2.70. Fascineer, number 8, was a winner 2 starts ago, as too was the 10 open steps. Chelsea Forder claiming 3 kilograms on the original 55 kilogram weight here for the 10 open steps. So the 10 is the outsider at 14 and 3, but with that claim might be worth including. It does look pretty balmy there, a minute and a half away from race number 2, meeting code 16. And then off the back of this, we will be heading to Alexandra Park, meeting code 8, race 3. Aaron's numbers once again, 1, 9, 11 and 7. Ipswich Greys, race number 3. Rosdew Carbine, number 1, has paid $5.90 and $1.70. 2, Spring Nakano, $2.10, and 5, Villacamba, $1.30. Quinella 1-2, $5.50. Trifecta 1-2-5, $57 even. And the first 4, 1-2-5 and 8, $127.80 Ipswich. As mentioned, we'll have race 7 here later on this evening. We've also got greyhound races coming in from Bendigo and Richmond to coincide with our domestic meeting. There's Alex Park, prelims underway, and with 7.5 out from the third there this evening. The favourite, Acceptance, at least on the tote, $3.80, backed in strongly from 14 to 4. Accumulated the tote favourite at $3.20 for the Purdon team, Barry Purdon's team. Here, and check-in by Mark 3 for Scott Phelan, and the Telfer Garlic team also was specced early on. We can head to Carnarvon though, WA race 2, meeting 16.
Been a line, Roman Fighter's about to go up in. Vicallo just playing up a little bit behind the gates. Kate Whitten has dismounted. They're going for the blindfold, but it's quite stroppy. Tough race, this one. Most races today are pretty tricky with the Broome season done and dusted. Runners from the Broome season on the way back down to Perth and here for the Carnarvon meeting, as well as Port Hedland. There was a meeting at Junction last week, so you've got a lot of form to try and cross-examine. As Fascinator comes up. Vicallo just playing up a little bit. Darren Pateman's first runner in race 1, Miss Rosendale, put up a decent performance. As they load away. Doesn't appear to be too much more movement behind the gates. The light is on, ready to run. And the gates open, they're away and racing. Sentoki jumped beautifully from the outsides up towards the front of the pack, with Vicallo jumping quickly as well. And they're 1-2 in the early part. Now Mercurial Spear and Open Steps race up on the outside. And they're nice and handy to these leaders. Mish Kebabs behind them. They will follow them by Roman Fighter. Back towards the tail is Fascinaire. They will head of them by. Towards the back of the pack is Hustle Hoff. And going to the rear of the field over on the inside there is Costa to Costa. Down the side of the track now, and out in front we have Mercurial Spur leading the way by about a neck on the outside, racing up to join it. There's Open Steps, and Vicallo is sticking with them, makes the line of 3 by punching up in the centre. Over on the inside of those there is Roman Fighters, a clear cut fourth. Mish Kebabs being ridden along around the outside of Sentoki, who's lost ground coming to the turn by the 450, and back behind them Fascinaire and Hustle Hoff and Costa to Costa. Vicallo dash to the top of the lane, leads the way by about half a length to 3/4, now extends to the full margin of the 1 length over second is Mercurial Spur. Nothing coming on from the back. Vicallo's got this shot to bits. Vicallo with 100 to go is well clear. Dashing home down the outside. Mish Kebab's going to be tight the minors, but Vicallo wins. Second tight. Driving through Costa to Costa late, got second just ahead of Mish Kebab, and over on the inside Sentoki picked up again late. They were followed then by Mercurial Spur. Hasselhoff just peaked that last 100 metres after looming into it nicely. Open Steps towards the back of the field with Roman Fighter, and Fascinaire's pulled up quickly after the line.
Vicallo 550 and 230. It's pretty close for the minors too, so we'll have that graphically for you very soon. Heading to Alexandra Park, Mark Cookson, as we head back to you. Accumulator, the tote favourite, the half to Chris and Me, and Hans Christian, Full to Dream About Me. So has all the breeding, but the worst result for the night for bookies is Acceptance in this race, now at 250 the tote.
I tell you what, Jess, punters have been waiting for this one. I was on air last night, so by the time I got to the prices at around about 10 past 6, I noted down $8.50. You said $7 this morning, and the bookie said it was at 13. So in the opening minutes, punters were waiting for it, and some may have quickly got on before the price quickly trimmed. Yeah, I noted down $8.50, $7 this morning, and now around Acceptance, $4 on fixed odds. It's into the 250 tote favourite here in race number 3 on the card. You mentioned Accumulator. Zach Butcher taking the drive. 2 runners in here for Barry Purdon. Laredo Torpedo and Accumulator haven't been seen since the Young Guns heat, the Cardigan Bay Stakes heat, the Young Guns heat on New Year's Eve. They both went to the workouts on Saturday morning, and a short time ago I caught up with Zach Butcher, who drove Accumulator at the workouts. Zach, race number 3, Accumulator, went to the workouts with the stablemate the other day. Can you tell us a wee bit about that?
Yeah, he's probably a little bit green. He trialled pretty well. He's had 2 under his belt now, so looking for a pretty bold showing. But in the same breath, he's got a lot to learn as well. So as long as he's run home and hit the line, you know, we're here to win. But don't be surprised if he doesn't. You know, so he's got the breeding there, but a couple more races will be just improving with each one.
3.10 last night, out to $3.60. Acceptance, the big go. And number 9 in the book, Laredo Torpedo, the Barry Purdon stablemate. Number 1 in the book is Check In, $7.50, one of a couple in the race for Steve Telfer and Chris Garlick. A short time ago, I caught up with Scott Phelan, who drives Check In, and of course he'll tell us a wee bit too about Happy Magic. Scott, race number 3, Check-Ins, had the wide draw a couple of weeks ago, barrier 1 tonight, off the back of some strong performances prior.
Yeah, look, he's gone pretty good, but he's never really had a good draw to use, so I'm not too sure how he gets out the gate. But look, we'll be trying to hold up a little bit and see where we end up. But look, if he does end up handy, we'll be a pretty good chance again.
And the stablemate Happy Magic's continuing with a second row draw tonight, but has been running some good races around the park.
Yeah, look, he has, and the draw probably suits him a little bit, where he doesn't have to do too much early and just to have one run at them. So look, he's a place chance probably from there, but look, hopefully the other fella goes pretty good.
And Todd Mitchell will take the drive on Happy Magic with 17 last night. It's into $11 now, whereas Check-In has been quite the drifter in race number 3. But Aaron White, as we come upstairs to you, start number 5, and yeah, interesting to see what the horse can do from barrier 1.
Yeah, I've got it on top, Check-In. Good placings back on the 15th and 29th of July. And then beaten by a wide draw here a couple of weeks ago. So you certainly have to give it another chance from an inside draw out of the Group 1 winner in Time to Fly, a Mark 3 gelding. We'll put in the 9, Laredo Torpedo. His workout form has been very good. Barry Purdon to do the driving. If Check-In can hold up from the inside, the trail is certainly one place to be tonight. The 11 Happy Magic, the stablemate of Check-In, has to be considered. Comes out of the spring campaign race from a couple of weeks ago. It was a good third here, fresh up, of course, won an Australasian Breeders' Crown Heat down at Cambridge. It was just a 2-horse field down there. Beat Louis Alberto in that heat, and the 7 Acceptance certainly has to be considered. He's got plenty of breeding on his side as well. 1, 9, 11 and 7. Plenty of punters have good opinions on a few of these horses tonight, so this is the form race of the night for us, Mark. This will produce a lot of winners over the next 6 to 8 weeks here at the park, so make sure you've got the My Sky ready to go.
Thank you, Aaron. Certainly some great breeding and some great potential around a few of these runners. Te Mahia number 5. Tony Cameron takes the drive for Tony Herlihy, who's in Australia, of course. Late application of the blinds tonight through from the bookies on that first starter, raced by Neil Pilcher and Trevor Casey, sharing in the ownership, amongst others. Getting in behind the Mobile, Acceptance off the back of winning a trial before the meeting here 2 weeks ago. Not a bad trial.
Drawn down on the pole. Oklahoma Thunder comes forward, October Rush and Quick Cullen. Second row draws, Laredo Torpedo. With Accumulator, Happy Magic and Pedro Down. Some very good debutants in this event. Grand Harbour Mobile pace over the 2,200 metres. Into the lane they come. Oh, we've got a galloper here. Oklahoma Thunder, also Laredo Torpedo. The green lights come on, so that pair haven't interfered with any other runners. Acceptance off the arm strongly for Joshua to go and get the early lead from October Rush, and they're followed by Timar here back on the inside. Check-In. They're followed then by Accumulator as they make the stables corner. Naylor is the next with back over on the inside. Happy Magic on settling. Back in the field is Quick Cullen. Back there too is RGB, and they're followed by Pedro Downs and the other pair, Laredo Torpedo and Oklahoma Thunder. They galloped right at dispatch. They're no chance through the back. Acceptance, the race favourite, carrying great support on debut. Leads from October Rush and Timar here, and then came Check-In. They're followed by Accumulator. Back on the inside now was Happy Magic. Accumulators away from the markers. 43 was the lead time as they work off the back. The next is Naylor with Outwider on the track, Pedro Downs. And back in the field then is Quick Cullen and RGB, and they're the winning chances. Acceptance off the top. The Son of Better's Delight will work into the lane with a lap and a quarter left to go. Pedro Downs getting to the outside to the chair now. Then October Rush in the trail, the opening quarter in 31.7. That sees now Check-In 1-1 cover around Timar here. Up on the outside, Accumulator's got the back of Check-In as they work down to the Judge Bell and 1 to go. Back on the inside to Happy Magic. Naylor's a length off that. And the last pair, the inside is Quick Cullen. And to its outside was RGB. They're the winning chances. A long way back to Laredo Torpedo. Oklahoma Thunder. They both cost themselves chances with early gallops. Out to the 800 metres they go. The second quarter posted in 32.3 in the Grand Harbour pace. And its Acceptance bowling along beautifully in front. From Pedro Downs and October Rush. Check-In 1-1-1. Back on the inside, Timar here. There followed by Accumulator. Back on the inside then was Happy Magic as they pace to the end of the back straight. Naylor's looking to take off now for Morris McKendry. RGB and drifting away. Quick Cullen off the back. They come. Acceptance. Joshua hasn't let him down. 400 to go. Back straight quarter. 28 seconds. Out after him now is Check-In. And Accumulator getting around Pedro Downs. Timar here and Naylor. Homeward bound. Acceptance a length and a half. Check-In closes in strongly. Accumulator getting to the outside. Acceptance leads by a length and a half still from Check-In. Accumulator. Timar here. Naylor letting down with a powerful finish. 75 to go. Acceptance though, and he's going to be brilliant on debut. Acceptance by 3 seconds. Naylor will just pinch that off Accumulator. Then Timar here. Check-In. They were followed by RGB back in the field to October Rush. They were followed by Happy Magic. Pedro Downs back in the field, as too was Quick Cullen. Laredo Torpedo, Oklahoma Thunder 244.6, 29.5, 57.5 the last half. Got plenty of breeding around him. He's a nice type too by betters. And Joshua used some pretty good gate speed. He's settled on a beautiful rein. And Josh only really asked him the last 200 metres and pretty soft in the last 100 to get the win. Naylor's made up great ground in the home straight to get over the top of Accumulator for second. And Timar here will make up your first four in the Grand Harbour. Mobile Pace.
Official placings, race 3, the Grand Harbour Mobile Pace. 7, 8, 10, 5, 1, 6. 7, 8, 10, 5, 1, 6. Horse 7, Acceptance, pace the 2200 metres in 2:44.58. Mile rate of 2 minutes, 0.3. The last 800 metres in 57.5 and the 400 metres in 29.5. The margins 2 3/4 lengths ahead, 3/4 of a length. 7, 8, 10, 5, 1, 6, race 3, the Grand Harbour Mobile Pace.
Acceptance, brilliant on debut. The Better's Delight, Brown 3-year-old gelding at a dream offer. Roslyn Stud Limited, the owners. John and Joshua Dickey trained at Clevedon. And Joshua doing the driving. And gets back to the winner's circle. Very nice win on debut. Stephen Chan down there for the Grand Harbour. Pat Gubb for the Auckland Trotting Club, part of the victory celebrations. Woodland Stud New Zealand Limited, the breeders of the Better's Delight, 3-year-old brown gelding out of Dream Offer. Of course, the full brother to the likes of Better Dream, Better Offer, Delightful Offer, Can't Refuse. So certainly has plenty of that family talent, has Acceptance, as we see on debut tonight. 8 Naylor, Better's Delight, Brayside Star, brown 3-year-old gelding, the estate of JF Toomey, the owner. Brian Hughes trained Ardmore, Morris McKendry second, and 10 Accumulator for third. Better's Delight, brown 3-year-old colt out of Splendid Dreams for MS Roberts, CJ Roberts, Barry Purdon trained at Clevedon, Zach Butcher. Totes we'll see. Number 7 Acceptance, return $3.80 for a win, $1.70 for the place, $3.81.70. 8 Naylor, $2.50, $2.50. 10 Accumulator, $1.60, $1.60. Quinella, $13 even, 13 even. Trifecta, $80.70, $80.70. And the first four on the numbers 7, 8, 10 and 5. $918.50, $918.50. 1 and 7 in the first double. He's Novak now with Acceptance, $47.30, $47.30. 1 and 8 Naylor Concession, $24.70, $24.70. And the early treble tonight, Broforks S the 1 He's Novak, and now 7 Acceptance, $130.20. $130.20. The fourth on the card tonight, the United Cleaning Services Mobile Pace over the 2,200 metres to open a double. And take out to 6 Wirienda Piper, 11 Pedro Downs. Rariza number 3, 2 and money back. Zach Butcher the early favourite. 2 Shield Maiden, Morris McKendry 391.90. 8 Lincoln Superstar 581.30. David Butcher your top 3 favourites. We race in 20 minutes time and that'll be at 21 minutes after 7.
Away the gold, box 7 Elite Dose. Then second line, Premier Prince, Opawa Smoke. Mary Blue Blood off the 6 and Allegro Power the outside. All clear is through. Lure on its way to the lid, set. Racing Opawa Maf steps okay. Elite Dose is out quickly with Mary Blue Blood. Allegro Power and booting through. Now was Opawa Maf. Work to do though. Premier Prince round the outside, getting a run through on the inside. Now was Opawa Smoke further back in the race to take away. And Opawa Gavin at the back. Elite Dose night to night. Opawa Maf trying to kick after it. Then Opawa Smoke 7, 1, 4 and 2. The key numbers for the first 4. Followed across then by Takeaway. Allegro Power. Opawa Gavin beat one in, and that was Mary Blue Blood who found a spot of bother. Elite Dose does turn it on tonight. Jumped well. Chopped off Mary Blue Blood, who went back onto Allegro Power. Opawa Maf got a run through, so did Opawa Smoke. 17.74 the time, and it's 7, 1, 4 and 2 for first 4 players. And it's going to be a healthy first 4 with Elite Dose on top for Marie Gowan, who owns and trains by Elite State out of Missy Octane. Win 8 at start 65. It's been a wee while since she's won, and contrasting fortunes off the lids for Elite Dose after last week. 7, 1, 4 and 2. And it was the same draw last week. Power Gavin couldn't keep up, did eventually beat Mary Blue Blood because she got chopped by the winner going into that first bend, and then she came out on Allegro Power. So they were effectively out of the contest from there. Off a moderate beginning, Opawa Maf's got through to pay a dividend. 1 3/4 by 2 and a quarter here. 7, 1, 4 and 2. 6.95 has been the lead up here. And we've given you the details for Elite Dose, and that's race number 6. So it'll be most interesting to see what the payout is for those who have landed that first 4. Well done to you. Into the back half of the program, place 6 starts race 7. Also the first leg of a double and treble with 9 and 10 out. Underway at 7.31 with that. Elite Dose, 641.90 when the tote balance, the 7. Money back only, the 1 Opawa Maf, 210 Opawa Smoke, Quinella 820. Trifecta 84.50. And the first 4, 7, 1, 4 and 2, $606.30. And where'd that pot get to? 23,000 in that pool. 23,000 in that first 4 pool. With that carry forward, that's remarkable. Double 4 and 7, $232.50. $32 shot. Dream Zone leg 1. Concession 49.80 and an outsized treble 2. Started by All in Berlin. 1, 4 and 7. Look, you've done well to nail that. You deserve $1,140.60. And given we're not off to Richmond Dogs for another 7.5 minutes, we can have a look at the market 4, race number 7, that first leg of place 6, a double and treble tonight. And 260 about Big Time Red Foo. Be a long time since he started that short. He ran second to Stole Me Wallet last week. He's drawn outside Brent, who's generally not the quickest into stride. Gully Flaherty in the 3 can show speed, but she doesn't like traffic around her. I've gone with some value here, the 5 Corborn George, who won a trial here a month ago, and he's had trouble getting a start. He ran third in a nice field on Monday. Awkward draw, of course. Started a multi with him at 2.30 the place. He's paying $8 to win, same as Homebush Zane, the other Macanuni runner who has box 4. Malachi Magic's got a good record from awkward draws, $7.50 for him. He doesn't sprint here often. When he does, he usually makes it count, at least for the placings anyway. And Brent stormed home last week for third. Now, I know he's a mile from the winner, but it was quite a good recovery. He's not the quickest into stride, but he can hold his line okay. 450 at the moment, fixed, and 31. Wow, look at that. It's interesting, isn't it? Gully Flaherty, it's only $1,000 in the pot, but it's still $1,000 and $1.10. So somebody has had a whack on the 3. And I tell you what, you'll hold your breath at the first bend because, yeah, it's a fight or flight there for her. Gully Flaherty at that point. Jess, that's the 7th to look forward to at 7:31.
Yeah, bizarre, isn't it? The weight of money in the tote on Gully Flaherty. So you'd want to include it in your exotic bets or even get involved on the option. Richmond Dogs up next, meeting code 39, race number 5. And the numbers there for Phil Roberts, 1, 5, 7 and 3. 1, 5, 7 and 3, no third dividend. We're 5.5 minutes away from a start. We'll be taking races 5 and 6 from Richmond this evening here on Trackside 1, the remainder on Trackside 2. We will take a quick break before we head there. TAB Trackside 1.
Roughie today, 16-1. Now that's what I call a roughie.
Mercy Cherie on the inside. Colby Royal coming back. Bono.
I know it's rough. It's by Tavistock though. Is Stock Take. Left-handed, rain-affected track. Last race, 3 kilo claim.
Stock Take. Stock Take wins the last.
And keep an eye on this one, Club's Choice. It just loves to lead. It's 61s and 10s. Oh.
Club's Choice exploded out of the barrier and leads all of the way. Club's Choice by 2.5.
Here's a great finish. Sacred Falls and Piero settle down to fight it out, but Sacred Falls beat Piero. Sacred Falls, can he do it back to back? Sacred Falls does it, back to back for Sacred Falls.
Sacred Falls looking to thread through, there's not a lot of room. Now Sacred Falls has seen the gap, and Sacred Falls sprinted through with 100 metres to go. Burton saw the gap, sent him through it, and Sacred Falls raced away.
Stalled Valley Girl in front from Beacon Hill on the inside. Valley Girl fresh up though. Whoa, she's in for a big season. Capella, Rude Not To over on the inside, coming after it. It's Capella wanting to veer out. Rude Not To can't get there. Capella.
Sometimes I feel I grew up just a little fast. Sometimes I wish I was a
followed by Jenna Hart, Tell Me Lisa, Addictive Habit. It's now Cowie. Oh, he's too big. He's too strong and too good. Cowie wins the McPhee.
We don't worry about it. No, we don't worry about it.
McPhee Challenge Stakes Day. It's hard to believe that our spring features are upon us tomorrow. Of course, Saturday, 27th of August. And Cowie is $4 and $4.20. Leith Innes looking to become the first jockey to win the opening Group 1 race of the season for a third time, teaming up with Cowie tomorrow. $4 in from $4.20. Of course, Hasselhoof at his best would have to be hugely respected. On the drift, $6.50 out to $8. Stolen Dance, she stays firm at $5.50. Be sure to tune into the First Call team tomorrow too to get all of the latest info on that. I'll just double check and see how our track conditions are looking at this stage for Hastings tomorrow. It'll be meeting code 4. Currently the track is slow 8 and the weather today they're cloudy, so you'll get the full information tomorrow on the first call. But it's option 407, Valley Girl. She's on the drift to $5.50 out to $6.50. Capella at 9 as well. So that's the McPhee, Group 1. And Cowie currently the favourite at $4.20. Richmond meeting code 39, race number 5. Phil Roberts here, 1, 5, 7 and 3. 1, 5, 7 and 3. No third dividend on this event. One screen test at 270 and 115. Richmond, as mentioned, will be taking race 6 there, which is the second leg of a treble. Numbers for that race 2, 8, 6 and 5 for Phil. If you're looking to take the treble, 2, 8, 6 and 5, the third leg will be on track side 2. But screen test at 270, 115. Also in the market, Almost Black at 330 and 130. Not a lot of exposed form in this field. We take out the 2 and the 8, the 9 Old School Mates. We'll jump from box number 2, the Emergency Old School Mates, at $10 and $2.50. So numbers for Phil, 1, 5, 7 and 3. Hopefully dogs will head out shortly. In fact, they are heading out now for Richmond race number 5. Off the back of this, we're back at Alexandra Park for race 4, the United Cleaning Services Mobile Pace. Note through from the bookies too in terms of the next strong multi-support for Rareza at 165. Poppy Drayton and Shield Maiden have been specced at longer odds in that market too. So Poppy Drayton, when I chatted to Richard Wilson on radio last night, did have a bit of early support. So Rareza, the one to watch in the next. We head to Richmond as they head to the start for the 5th. Irony is deathly silence. As soon as you throw to them, they disappear, but never mind, that's not the first time that's happened to me. Richmond race number 5, 20 seconds over start time. Numbers for Phil, 1, 5, 7 and 3. If you are looking to invest, it's the first of a treble there this evening, and we're taking the second leg, race 6 at 7:37. Alexandra Park race number 4 to follow, and then we're back to Wanganui for race 7. Later on tonight, we are taking meeting 23 from Melton, race 2 onwards. We're taking races 2, 3 and 4. A selection of Breeders' Crown graduate races there tonight, and a couple of Group 2 events there as well, as we build into a massive Sunday at Melton for the Breeders' Crown. But Richmond race number 5 looks like they're behind the boxes now.
Look at the quaddie. All loaded away. Green light goes on. And we're ready to jump race 5. All set. Ready. Racing. Screen test began nicely, as did Shady Sprite and Zlayton. And right down the outside, Almost Black is going to cross them easily. Almost Black led screen test, and Zlayton gets to 3rd. Old School Mates back to 4th. Shady Sprite 7. Jackson last is Matzel Rocco down the back. Almost Black leads by 5 lengths over screen test in 2nd. 4 lengths away Zlayton, then Old School Mates on the inside. Shady Sprite makes a little bit of ground as a place chance to the bendo. Almost Black still nicely clear over screen test. Shady Sprite runs to 3rd. Almost Black in front, getting tired. Screen test won't get there though. Almost Black just over screen test. 3rd, either Shady Sprite or Matzel Rocco, who's come from last. Old School Mates 7 Jacks and Zlayton at the rear. Number 7, the winner. Just 1 second. 6 gets 3rd and 4 gets 4th. 7-1-6-4.
7, 1, 6 and 4. Richmond, that was race number 5, will be taking race 6 later on this evening, but as promised now it's time to head back to Alexandra Park. Mark Cookson and Aaron White, our team there this evening. Mark, as we head back to you, potentially another bad result for the bookies here with Rareza specced around multis and backed into 165 on debut.
Yeah, certainly a lot of multis around this horse, Jess, from the bookies, and there has not been any particular reason in terms of injuries as to why this horse hasn't had a race start yet. Was in the south with Chris McDowell last year, and did work out in November with the likes of Buster Brady and More the Better before coming north. It seems like Barry Purdon has worked out the kinks with this horse, and Zach Butcher, he says it's his best of the evening. He dominated the meeting here 2 weeks ago, and we'll hear from him shortly about this horse Rarisa in this next race at the park tonight, which is the United Cleaning Services mobile pace over the 2200 metres. Favourites just drifted out to 170 from $1.65, which was the quote from last night with the bookmakers. A couple in single figures on its inside, the likes of Shield Maiden, who broke a couple of times during the run here 2 weeks ago, but the prior runs were very, very good. In behind the likes of Step Up, who's just gone down in the earlier race, and Janet Guthrie, who raced earlier too. Shield Maiden placed behind those two 2 and 3 starts ago, and Poppy Drayton, who's got the inside draw tonight. First run since February. In February, it had the 2 starts in behind the expensive filly Strawberry Stride, and the most recent run in mid-February in behind Spanish Armada. Not too bad form, and has performed at the workouts as well, and has got that inside draw. So it's in single figures, but we need to hear from Zach Butcher, who is the driver of this mare by Courage Under Fire. She's a 4-year-old having her first start tonight, Rarisa. Zach, race number 4, Rarisa. A big chance tonight, but the stable's been taking its time with it.
Yeah, just had to figure out a few things with her, and she's a little bit green. Trialled really well the other day. She lit up and went a pretty good time, so all's looking pretty good with her tonight. There's a couple in there that if they get the right runs could beat her, but we're pretty confident, so hopefully head to the top and stay in front the whole way.
There we go. That's Zach Butcher and his thoughts around Rarisa, and indicating that no particular issues in terms of injury, but obviously a few things learning wise that the horse needed to acquire before it was suitable to come to the races. The horse that ran second in Saturday's workout, Ngā Mihi Nui, is runner number 7 in this. It's 16 out to 17 with the bookies, and it's having its first start off the back of the performance on Saturday. She's by Big Jim out of a Christian Cullen mare, Ngā Mihi Nui, maybe one for multiples or exotics. Phil Butcher takes the drive for the debut for Logan Hollis and Shane Robinson. Let's have a look at the runner number 5, Up All Night. This is at $12 with the bookies. Opened at 10 last night in single figures on the tote. Another one for Steve Telfer and Chris Garlick, and the driver is Scott Phelan. Scott, race number 4, Up All Night. Another one given a front row draw tonight. Is she a player from 5?
Yeah, look, I think so. She's got pretty good gate speed, and we'll probably look to use it early. And if we can get the front, she's sort of pretty much happy enough to roll along in front, and I think that's where she might be best. So if that works out that way, she'll be a chance too.
Up All Night is a filly by Rock and Roll Heaven. She's having her 4th start tonight. She was a Cambridge winner of a Breeders' Crown heat in early July, has been to the park here twice, was second on debut at the beginning of July in behind Double Twist. Almost Black at Richmond, number 7, 360 and 260, 1 screen test at $1.30, 6 Shady Sprite, no third dividend. Quinella 1 and 7, 440, Trifecta 7, 1 and 6, 84.50, and the first 4, 7, 1, 6 and 4, $205.30. There's a look at Shield Maiden, this filly by Better's Delight. Yeah, the prior efforts prior to the last start where, well, it galloped and lost all chance, not once but twice in the race won by Spring Campaign. Can certainly go better tonight. Tony Hurley, he drove that day. Not here tonight, Tony. Morris McKendry will once again pick up the reins. He was driving on both occasions here at the park where the horse was drawn front rows off the pole 2 starts ago and 3 back from a wider rally where it put in its performances so far of its career. There's Lincoln Superstar, made up the Ray Green exotic 2 weeks ago with Spring Campaign. Back on the 12th, has drawn the outside of the front row tonight. Drew 4 a couple of weeks ago for that effort. And certainly off the back of the strong finish it put in to just go down to the stablemate. It's one to throw in here in this race as well. It's at $5 with the bookies, opened at $3.30 last night, so it's drifted. You're getting sevens, though, on the tote. Aaron White, as we come to you, a lot of support here for this one. Ra Reza, she's now a 4-year-old, but she's having her first start tonight.
Yeah, it was a very good workout win last weekend too, coming home in a sub 27 for the last 400 metres there. Comes up with a nice draw. Zach's got a few options out of the barrier draw for trainer Barry Purden. On top for me, the 3 over 2 Shield Maiden. Very good win, runner-up 2 and 3 starts ago. Then beaten by a second row draw and early gallops back a couple of weeks ago. Morris McHenry with good manners, could see her well in the thick of things. Lincoln Superstar, she deserves a maiden success. She chased a gamely in behind Spring Campaign 2 weeks back. David Butcher in the 5 up all night has to be considered in this event as well. 3, 2, 8 and 5 for me.
Thank you, Aaron. I've gone Poppy Drayton, just trying to steer away from things having their first start. But as we saw in the previous race, Acceptance had huge support smashed with the bookmakers, and it did the job quite nicely in race number 3 at its first start. Can we get another one home here in Ra Reza, runner number 3? Raced by Studholm Bloodstock, RJ McDonald and Jay Fanslow from barrier number 3 tonight. Third leg of the TAB Quaddie. Good luck if you are still alive in the Quaddie. You need He's Novak in the first leg, runner number 1. Second leg...
Poppy Drayton, Shield Maiden come forward. Ra Reese's up onto the arm with Steady Rain. On the card to open a double here as well. With coming forward up all night. Ngāmihi Nui's up and Lincoln Superstar up on the outside. The second row draws consist of Lancewood John and Machine Guns and Gems. So they'll work into the lane, 2 1/4 laps under the ribbon of light for the 4th on our 11 race card tonight. Ra Reza to run the odds-on pop here out of barrier 3 as the green light flashes. She accelerates off the arm quite nicely with Up All Night. Up All Night will take the early lead from Ra Reza. Shield Maiden, Poppy Drayton back on the inside. Then Lancewood John punching underneath. Machine Guns and Gems as Steady Rain has been steady. Lincoln Superstar to its inside. And Mihi Nui is the last on the swing out of the home straight. Up All Night and Scotty Phelan takes up the early running now from the race favourite Ra Reza, who gets the lovely drag along in the trail, and Poppy Drayton 3 back on the inside as they sight the back straight. They're followed by Lancewood John. Shield Maiden is 5th and parked. Back on the inside, Lincoln Superstar and David Butcher. Machine Guns and Gems to its outside. Steady Rain is back second last for Joshua Dickey in a lead time of 44.7, and restrained back to last is Ngāmihi Nui as they turn off the back, where our leader is Up All Night. The Rock and Roll Heaven filly sweeping across the showgrounds turn 1400 metres out in the United Cleaning Services pace. Leads a length and a quarter. Ra Reza, the debutante by Courage Under Fire, gets the lovely drag in the trail. Shield Maiden inching closer on the outside for the Magic Man Morris McHenry, putting no pressure into the leader at this stage though. Poppy Drayton 3 back on the inside as they cut out the first quarter in 33 seconds neat. Machine Guns and Gems, Kyle Marshall 1-1, tracked up by Steady Rain. Back on the inside to Lancewood John, a debutante by Elsu in the hands of trainer Richard Brosnan. Ngāmihi Nui, another debutante by Big John, second last in the running line. Lincoln Superstar has all runners in front of her, and she'd be a good 8 to 9 lengths off the lead as they sweep around the stables corner. Up All Night leads Ra Reza, Shield Maiden, Machine Guns and Gems 1-1. Poppy Drayton the inside, then Steady Rain. Lancewood John back on the inside. Ngāmihi Nui second last. Lincoln Superstar looking to take off second quarter 32.6. Up All Night's had a pretty soft lead, leads by a length. Shield Maiden, Ra Reza's had a gorgeous run in the trail. Machine Guns and Gems 1-1. Poppy Drayton all dressed up, nowhere to go. 3 back on the inside. Lincoln Superstar and Ngāmihi Nui come forward out. 3 around Steady Rain and Lancewood John the last. 450 left to go. Still in front Up All Night. Back straight quarter 29.4. Leads a length and a quarter. Lincoln Superstar, Ra Reza the favourite, galloped in the trail. It's out of commission. Shield Maiden, Ngāmihi Nui getting to the outside, homeward bound, Up All Night from Lincoln Superstar. Ngāmihi Nui getting into the clear, Machine Guns and Gems, Steady Rain, Shield Maiden on the passing lane, 100 left to go. In front, Up All Night, Ngāmihi Nui coming strongly, Ngāmihi Nui going to Up All Night, Ngāmihi Nui on the outside, Ngāmihi Nui too good for Up All Night. Third, Machine Guns and Gems, Steady Rain. Fourth, then Lincoln Superstar. Shield Maiden back on the inside, a blanket finish and not far off them, Poppy Drayton. Further back in the field then to a Lancewood John, and a costly late mistake for the odds-on favourite. We'll see it run last. Rariza 28, the final quarter. Ngāmihi Nui will take the win. The Big Jim filly on debut. Philip Butcher for Logan Hollis and Shane Robertson. Kahakiri Bloodstock Limited. Mrs. R.A. Ritchie, the owners. And she's driven and found the post really nicely. Up All Night will be second. Machine Guns and Gems in for third. And Steady Rain down the outside will pick up the fourth, and what was a blanket finish to the United Cleaning Services Mobile.
Official placings, race 4, the United Cleaning Services Mobile Pace. 7, 5, 10, 4, 8, 2. 7, 5, 10, 4, 8, 2. Horse 7, Ngāmihi Nui, paced the 2200 metres on debut and 249.38. Mile rate of 23.9. Last 857.4 on the 428. The margins 3/4 of a length, a half head. 7, 5, 10, 4, 8, 2. All official, race 4, the United Cleaning Services Mobile Pace. Just checking those times, get back to.
So Ngāmihi Nui back at the head of the field, Kahakiri Bloodstock Limited. Peter Smith and Winky Foley, part of the ownership there. And Mrs. R.A. Rachel Ritchie. They're the ownership. Ngāmihi Nui, Big Jim, Sabine, 3-year-old brown filly, and gets the prize on debut strongly. It was bred by Kahakiri Bloodstock along with the S.C. Shanks and M.A. Scowen, and scores attractively here on debut. Over the 5. In fact, down there, Peter King, part of the United Cleaning Services team, part of the victory celebrations. Roger Barnes down there, race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club. The 5 Up All Night for second. Rock and Roll Heaven, brown 3-year-old filly out of Spicy for Stonewall Stud Limited. Stonewall Filly Syndicate number 9. Steve Telfer, Chris Garlick, trained at Papakura, Scott Phelan. 10 Machine Guns and Gems for third. Santana Blue Chip, brown 4-year-old mare out of Isha, raced by the Framptons RG and Mrs. P.E. David Marshall, trained at Cambridge, and Kyle Marshall, the drive. The totes, we'll see. Number 7, Ngāmihi Nui, returned $21.50 and $3.40. $21.50 and $3.40. 5 Up All Night, $2.40, $2.40. And 10 Machine Guns and Gems, $8.20, $8.20. Quinella, $86.70, $86.70. The 7-5-10 trifecta, $2,275, $2,275. The first 4, not struck. $4,233 jackpotting through to the first 4 in race number 5 on the card, which will also open our middle treble.
Just confirming the times in race 4. Winner's time 2:49.38, a mile rate of 2:3.9, last 857.4 and the 428.
In race 5, number 2, Majestic Gal is the defection. Hot Chocolate Tart, number 12 at 4 and 2.30. Dylan Ferguson, the favourite over 1 Inky Row. Todd McFarlane, 5.10, $1.80. 8 St Michelle, Brent Mangos, 5.40, 1.90. Cool Sun, number 6, Philip Butcher, 9.80 and 3.70. And Little Bro, number 10, 11 and $3.70. Good luck with your bets in race 5 to open a treble in 16 minutes' time.
Company. Homebush Zane was a Class 2 winner, 2 back, and then missed from box 4 here last week in a heat of that Class 2 Sprint Series. So play 6 getting underway here, double and treble as well, just on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 finish we had in race 2 today, which was our first in nearly 8 years. I did get a text through from my father, who's been judge at Addington for a long time, and before him Ernie Fuchs there, the late and lovely Ernie Fuchs. And neither of them have had a 1 through 8 in 19 years at Addington, so we're treated to it tonight for the first time in 8 years here at Hatrick. Loading up race 7, you know Brent, Gully Flaherty, Corborn George, Brilliant Ava. Big Time Red Foo, Homebush Zane, Malachi Magic and Corborn Hint the second line. Depends where you look for the favourite. Gully Flaherty's still the favourite on the tote, but you can get her at $10 the book. Set to go. Racing, you know Brent out okay with Big Time Redfoo, and also powering out there. Homebush Zane might get to the lead, and does. Getting forward there was Brilliant Ava to get up into 4th spot. Corborn George getting underneath that. Back in the piece here, then we've got Corborn Hint. Malachi Magic's a long way back, and so too Gully Flaherty, but you know Brent has powered to the lead here and will score from Homebush Zane or Big Time Redfoo or Corborn George, who dived at them late, and they'd be followed through then by Corborn Hint. Brilliant Ava was back with them. Malachi Magic a good way back with Gully Flaherty. Money was west a long way out with her. You know Brent has jumped on terms with them tonight and controlled the race from there in a 17.75. Visually it looked like the 4 had held second, but Big Time Redfoo's on the outside, and Corborn George was flying, but I think he's missed. But it's a good 3-way go there. But it has come up that way. 1, 4, 2 and 5. From the hop. Well, you know Brent stepped on terms, so they were in danger from there. Homebush Zane crossed though. And you know Brent's booted up in behind. Big Time Redfoo was always there. Corborn George found the rail and started to work into it. Gully Flaherty, I see, ended up 7.20. On the tote there when the late money came in. So it is 1, 4, 2 and 5. You know Brent by Premier Fantasy out of Winsome, you know. Mike Sinnott owns, Nathan Udy trains, win 9 at start 47. 3.5 lengths ahead and ahead. Pretty short heads, I reckon. But anyway, it was close. 7.04 for the lead up there. You know Brent taking out race number 7. Race 8 tonight. Wanganui Chronicle Class 3 Sprint again. We've got 9 and 10 out, and run away with that at 7.56. Solid performance from this dog, Jess. Made up a heap of ground late in the piece last week, and jumping on terms with him tonight made him pretty deadly. Mike Sinnott, Nathan Udy, they've got a really nice dog called Rain and Tears. If you haven't been able to watch Wednesday racing, has won 4 from 5 now, and can really run along. You know Brent, 550, 210, 260 for Homebush Zane, $1.10 big time Redfoo. Quinella 26.20, trifecta 162.90, 1425 first 4, $591.40. Happy trainer Nathan Udy after race number 7. We'll get back to you with the 8th at 7:56, and don't forget after that our late quaddie starting race 9 at 8:24.
Cheers, Rosso. Yes, thank you for that. You know, Brent taking out the first leg of place 6 this evening. That's win number 8, start 47 for Nathan Udy at Wanganui. Well done to the team. And just looking ahead to race number 8, the Wanganui Chronicle Class 3 at 7:56. We've got a couple of recent downgraders there in Funky Freddy and Pink Shellac. And the early favourite at $3.60 was Robin Zahud. Robin Zahud over Funky Freddy, 360 and 380 respectively. Richmond Dogs at race number 6 are just 90 seconds away from this, the first of a double. Phil Roberts, 286 and 5. His numbers 286 and 5. The 2 Gate 1 at 230 and 250. Just a fixed odds win there at the moment, but 286 and 5, first of a double. The rest of this card on trackside 2. After this, we head back to Alexandra Park for race number 5. Just a note to pick 6 this evening. We'll start in race number 6, given we've got an 11 race card there tonight. So a $25,000 pick 6 at Alexandra Park, starting race 6 at 16 past 8. So do get those tickets invested. And later on this evening, we're taking harness action from Melton, at least race 2, 3 and 4. And of course, the Breeders' Crown graduates, some of the features there, a couple of Group 2s tonight. Later on, Messini will go up against Hector JJ and Let's Elope. Now, that race in itself will be on trackside 2, but we will remind you closer to the time if you're wanting to flick over to see the Group 2 with Messini, Hector JJ and Let's Elope in a very classy field at Melton. Right, just 30 seconds away from race number 6, meeting 39. Matt here, 274 and 5. 274 and 5 for Matt Nichols. Gate 1 on top at $4.80 and 160, and Phil Roberts 286 and 5. His numbers also. So it shouldn't be too far away from our caller joining us. They're behind the traps now, heading up behind them. Now they're just waiting for a harness race to finish up. They're standing by now for race 6 at Richmond.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. It's been $2.20 into $1.90, back out to $2 fixed odds wise, whereas Gate 1 has been $2.60 out to $2.80. Moving in, this is the Peter Darrick Appreciation. Magic Bullet and Gracie Seymour in there with Rudy Arnos and Dunya Dash, Zambora Idol, Cheeky Grant, Spring Gate and Gate 1. Green light goes on. Race number 6 from Richmond, 618 metres all set. Ready. Racing, Gate 1 began beautifully and leads early from Cheeky Grant. Zambora Idol trap wide into the first turn, wanted the crash to the fence, checked back to last, and Gate 1 leads Magic Bullet. Cheeky Grant gets the third from Gracie Seymour. Next one was Spring Gate. Dunya Dash, Rudy Arnos and Zambora Idol with it all to do. Into the back, it's Gate 1 going nicely in front, leads by 6 lengths over Magic Bullet. In third spot then came Cheeky Grant, followed by Gracie Seymour. Rudy Arnos well back, still no Spring Gate or Zambora Idol, but Gate 1 has slipped further away up to the bend, got away from Magic Bullet. Cheeky Grant runs on from Gracie Seymour, but little Gate 1 far too good. Gracie Seymour got up for second ahead of Magic Bullet, and Cheeky Grant was next, followed by Rudy Arnos. A long gap back to Spring Gate, Zambora Idol second last, Dunya Dash last.
The 2's a clear-cut winner over the 3, the 1, and looks like the 6 will be our 4th one home. 2, 3, 1, and a blur there at the line, number 6. 35.78 the time. Right, our next event, Alexandra Park. We're 7 minutes away from a start here. Aaron's numbers 12, 8, 10 and 6. 12, 8, 10 and 6. 12, 8, 10 and 6. First of a treble And the fifth on the card here tonight is the McGregor Bailey Chartered Accountants Handicap Trot over 2,200 metres. Marcus, we head to you. We've got a decent carry forward here, $4,200 into the first four pool, and a field of very talented trotters, including Inky Rowe, who got things very bad last start, but the wrap around her even before her first start was huge.
Certainly was, Jess, and we spoke to Todd McFarlane 2 weeks ago, and he gave big raps to the horse, but was going for the lead early doors, but made a mistake. And, well, if punters can forgive that, then you can chuck it in, certainly for that first four, where it's certainly worth playing, and it's one of the shorter ways home in the quaddie after the $22 shot in the previous race, which knocked most of us out in Ngā Mihi Nui. Impressive having its first start, but it was aided by the melee off the back straight, which poleaxed a few runners, including the favourite Rariza. So race number 5, there's a good look at Inky Rowe. Claire McGowan races this one. Dave and Claire prepare, and Todd McFarlane driving once again. 450 on the tote, so it's favourite there. Second favourite, the tote's number 8, St Michel. I like it. Very impressive at its first up run, and that was since April, so it had taken a few months off. Resumed with a really nice third, beaten just over 2.5 lengths by Lucky Fortune 2 weeks ago. Brent Mangos, trainer driver, he's got a couple in this. Little Bros back off the 10 metres, the son of Sundon. It's in the market too, so both of the Mangos runners are being split by Inky Rowe at this stage in terms of fixed odds money. You'd expect that money for Little Bro will shorten on the tote. It's $4.40 at this stage, same price as it opened at yesterday, raced by Tim Vince and Hayden Cullen. Hayden will take the drive, and of course Brent, the trainer. You can see in those colours, Brent Mangos is driving One Over the Moon, who we're looking forward to seeing in race number 7 tonight. Speaking of trotters, the feature trot tonight, One Over the Moon's got that 50-metre handicap to overcome, and the reports out this week and sending the get well wishes to Lex Williams, who's recovering from surgery after the serious accident at the end of the weekend. Earlier on this week had surgery, but he's certainly looking forward to seeing his charge here with Heather going around in One Over the Moon. So Brent Mangos will drive with Tony Hurler here, cross with Temporale, who will race in the Breeders' Crown this coming Sunday. Big chance there off the second row, I think. Conan Bridge, the fellow Kiwi, is the other one in that field. That's going to be a huge chance to win that one. Coverage on Trackside 1 this coming Sunday of the Australasian Breeders' Crown. Number 12 in the book, that's the other one in single figures, and that is Hot Chocolate Tart. Aaron White's pretty keen. We'll catch up with him shortly. Dylan Ferguson taking the drive tonight. A rating 72 horse. Gets in, rating 70 to 75 with the condition of using the junior claiming driver, and Dylan Ferguson will come off the 20 metres. And Nicky will drive the stablemate Lockie Brogden in this, who's got no tickets live in terms of the quaddie. We'll check the will pays shortly and keep an eye on that first four pool. Cool Sun, number 6 in the book here. It's the best of the double figure runners. Opened at $10 last night. It's drifted out to 13s. Was a nice Cambridge winner last time out. Won by 3 lengths, beating Danka, who lined up twice that day. That was its 5th win, Cool Sun. It's really hitting a wee bit of form. That was behind the Mobile, of course, which is probably the thing. It's got to get the manners right. It's had 65 stands, but your manners the key, and with the wind whipping up in between races, expecting some gusts of 90 kilometres per hour in exposed places, it's certainly caused a bit of havoc, especially with the inexperienced trotters earlier on tonight. We might go up a wee bit earlier to Aaron White, and to get your thoughts here, Aaron, some numbers we need, because that first four pool is building to a healthy pot.
Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it? It's about to get that update come through now. Here it is. Let's see what we're up to. $8,000 already, so we're going to get to a pretty wee number, aren't we, for the first four here in the 5th on the card. 12 Hot Chocolate Tart took on One Over the Moon and Co. last time. That's good enough for me off a 20-metre handicap tonight over the 2,200 metres to see her well in the thick of things. She was a nice winner 3 starts ago. She beat Lucky Fortune on that occasion. We'll put in the 8s, that being St Michel, who resumed with a very good third a couple of weeks ago in behind Lucky Fortune, would have taken good benefit out of that. Brent Mangos, the stablemate 10 Little Bro, comes out of that same race when runner-up Hayden Cullen, and the 6 Cool Sun, a pretty comprehensive win at Cambridge. From behind the Mobile last time, should have gained a bit of confidence out of that. Of course, he was racing pretty well prior to putting in a couple of gallops at Cambridge. His last start here at Alexandra Park was 3 starts ago. Was all right in behind Temporale, so certainly have to consider him again, Cool Sun. He's 11 and $3.40, a nice each way quote there. But 12, 8, 10 and 6 there, my 4 for the 5th on the card. Inky Rowe carrying a lot of support. The question mark I have tonight, Mark, you've got to have her in first 4s, but inside draw, 2,200 metres. She did gallop second time to the races here a couple of weeks ago, and the inside draw can always be a bit tricky for these horses that are inexperienced at the park.
2,200 metres when you've got to step and go. Yeah, that could be a concern around Inky Rowe. Yeah, Cool Sun, 3 starts ago, coming out of that race in behind Temporale. Speaking of Temporale and the Breeders' Crown, and Hot Chocolate Tart. Yeah, that 4th in that Temporale race at the end of July before running 4th in that One Over the Moon race. And One Over the Moon going around later on tonight can be an anchor in the pick 6, which will get underway with the race following this. Race number 6 tonight, $25,000. And speaking of injections, $40,000 injected into the second quaddie tonight, which will start on race number 8 on the card. So almost $11,000. Still time to get your first 4s on. Short way home in the quaddie is with number 10 in the book, Little Bro, 7,700, 8,900 St. Michelle, 9,700 with Inky Rowe, and the rest are paying the $12,300 pool in the early quaddie. You need 1, 7 and 7 to be alive. He's Novak Acceptance, and then Mihi Nui tripped a few up and causing this carry forward in the first 4. So they'll step up shortly for this, of course, Saturday week, so tomorrow week. North Island Harness Racing Awards in the Tasman Room here at Alexandra Park. Tickets still available. You can contact Suzanne Hurley, who's overseas as well, I think, at the moment. 027 407 1057 for more details. We'll talk about that again a bit later on. But there's still tickets available for Saturday week's North Island Harness Racing Awards. Pre-dinner drinks in the Lyell Creek Lounge from 5:30, and then the Tasman Room for the main event. $130 a head. They've sold over 300 tickets already, and there are still some available. Suzanne Hurley, 027 407 1057 for more information on the North Island Harness Racing Awards coming up tomorrow week. And there are 9 workouts at Franklin tomorrow too, starting at 10:30, featuring No Doctor Needed. About to step up for this one, first 4, Paul.
Mark, and the Square Gators do face up. Inky Rowe just on the toe in barrier 1. Starter Frank Phelan releases the tapes and they're off. Inky Rowe steps off the mark like a toff. Brookby Prince and Yuldy Boys up there. Tourbillon Saloons through. Out wider is Larch, and they're followed by Chevron Sweetheart. Lockie Brogden out wider coming forward is St. Michelle. Chevron Sweetheart went for a gallop there, getting around at Hot Chocolate Tart. They're followed by Franco Nadal as they work the stables corner. Cool Sun back in the field, and after an early mistake, Little Bro will be the last on the swing out to the 1,800 metres. Inky Rowe and Todd McFarlane lead from Tourbillon. Larch is third. 4th and caught wide is St. Michelle. Lockie Brogden back on the inside. Then Yuldy Boys between runners. Brookby Prince against the markers. Hot Chocolate Tart the next. There's 2 lengths away in the field to Franco Nadal. 3 or 4 lengths Cool Sun. 10 lengths away Chevron Sweetheart. And a similar margin Little Bro. 50 seconds neat was the lead time for the McGregor Bailey Chartered Accountants trot as they work off the back. Race favourite Inky Rowe trotting along stylishly in front over Tourbillon. St. Michelle's found the chair, third and parked around Lockie Brogden. 1-1 is Larch and the Chief David Butcher, tracked up by Yuldy Boys and Brookby Prince against the pegs. Hot Chocolate Tart being patiently handled by Dylan Ferguson as they make the turn into the home straight. Back in the field is Franco Nadal and Cool Sun, and the other pair couldn't win. Opening quarter 31.7. Through the straight they come. Inky Rowe, the Sky Valley mare. She leads by that length and a quarter over Tourbillon. Up on the outside outside. Here's Hot Chocolate Tart making her bid into the race at the 1,000-metre mark. That gives St. Michelle now 1-1 cover. Lockie Brogden trapped away 3 back on the inside of Larch, and then Brookby Prince is trotting on the inside to its outside as they work out to the 850-metre mark. Was Yuldy Boys back on the inside to Franco Nadal and Cool Sun. The last of the winning chances, 33-2, was the next quarter. Inky Row into the back. Leads a little over a length, Hot Chocolate Tart and Tourbillon. St. Michelle 1-1. Lockie Brogden, Nicky Chilcott trapped away 3 back on the inside. Then Larch, Brookby Prince back on the inner. Back in the field is Yuldy Boys. That's trotting on the outside of Franco Nadal. And 3 lengths Cool Sun. 4.50 left to go as they sweep across the showgrounds turn. Inky Row trotting powerfully. Hot Chocolate Tart looking to run it down now. St. Michelle's galloped out of the 1-1. 28-3 was a back straight quarter. Tourbillon will wait the passing lane run, and then Larch and Lockie Brogden. Homeward bound Inky Row, Hot Chocolate Tart. They swing locked in battle. Inky Row's gallop there. Tourbillon, Larch getting to the outside. Lockie Brogden, then Yuldy Boys. St. Michelle picking up again. Hot Chocolate Tart, Larch coming after it. Hot Chocolate Tart, Larch on the outside. Hot Chocolate Tart, Larch lunging on the outside. Hot Chocolate Tart, she'll get the win. Hot Chocolate Tart beats Larch. Tourbillon, St. Michelle, he'll be 4th. Missed out Inky Row, the favourite there. That's because it galloped the entire length of the home straight. So the siren will sound. It has finished in the top 4, but it's galloped the whole length of the home straight. So I don't think you'll be getting any money off that in first 4s. Further back in the field to Franco Nadal. Lockie Brogden back in the field. They will follow Brookby Prince and Yuldy Boys back in the field to Cool Sun. Back there too was Little Bro. And back with that Chevron Sweetheart. Hot Chocolate Tart. She's fought on bravely for this win. Larch came up looking on the outside. David Butcher got within a neck, and then Hot Chocolate Tart really continued to lift. Inky Row, the race favourite, has run 3rd, but it has galloped for the entire length of the home straight. We'll leave that to stewards and JCA, but you'll be on shaky ground there if you're on Inky Row, so that'll bring up Tourbillon into that 3rd spot. And St. Michelle, how costly was that gallop at the 400-metre mark? He's picked himself up again, and he's trotted home strongly. He's 5th at this stage, but one would imagine that he'll be promoted up to 4th with the gallop there of Inky Row, but we'll leave that, as we say.
Placings in race 5 are subject to an inquiry. The McGregor Bailey Chartered Accountants Handicap Trot. Placings are 12, 7, 1, 9, 8, 13. 12, 7, 1, 9, 8, 13. Horse 12, Hot Chocolate Tart, trotted the 2,200 metres from a stand in a handicap and a net time of 2:53.5, mile rate of 26.9. Last 859.9 and the 431.6. The margins, a short neck, 1 length, 1.5 lengths. 12, 7, 1, 9, 8, 13. All confirmed, subject to an inquiry in McGregor Bailey Chartered Accountants Handicap Trot.
And that inquiry into the 3rd placed Inky Row. 12 Hot Chocolate Tart, Continental Man Brown, 6-year-old mare out of French Connection for GD and Mrs. D.R. Beckett. And Mrs. L.A. Chilcott, congratulations, win 8 at start 51 this evening. Nicky Chilcott, the preparer out of Cambridge, and Dylan Ferguson doing the driving there. Gary Nesbitt and the team from McGregor Bailey Chartered Accountants down there, part of the victory celebrations, along with race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, Pat Gubb. 7 Larch, Sundon Tamarix, 6-year-old bay gelding for the McClymans, Mrs. G, along with N.I. John and David Butcher, trained at Cambridge, David Butcher. Provisionally 3rd, Inky Row, Sky Valley Bay, 5-year-old mare out of Scoozy Boys for Mrs. C. McGowan, David and Claire McGowan, trained at Pukekohe. Todd McFarlane, and with that horse being likely to be disqualified, the 9 will come up Tourbillon, the Dream Vacation 8-year-old bay gelding out of Sunlamp, B.Y. Lim the owner, Richard Brosnan the trainer and driver from Ardmore. Hot Chocolate Tart, $6.30 and $2.10, $6.30 and $2.10, 7 Larch, $4.90, $4.90, Provisional 1 Inky Row, $2, $2. Quinella $70.50. 70.50. The 12.71 trifecta provisional 688.90, 688.90, and the 12.71 and 9 first four provisional 8,269 with a carry forward at this stage of 4,556. So if the favourite does get disqualified, expect there to be more going through in the first four there. Double 7 and 12, 129. 129, 7-7 concessions, $79.80, 79.80. And the 177 and 12 first quaddie, he's Novak, Acceptance, along with Namihi Nui and now Hot Chocolate Tart, returns $12,314.30, $12,314.30. Inquiry into the third placed, Inky Rowe.
Pink Shellac, well, if she reproduces her run from 3 weeks ago here, she'll be really hard to beat. She ran second to Val Baxter, who's since advanced to Class 5, but we haven't seen her for 3 weeks. Pink Shellac, that was off the 8, and the dog in the 8 here is on the cusp of a downgrade, another miss. She can really get off the lids, but she's been having trouble crossing them from similar wide draws, and the same may apply, but as I say, there isn't a stack of early speed inside if she can cross them and wait for a bit of bother in behind. Greyhounds called forward, race 8, the Wanganui Chronicle Class 3 sprint. Johnny Bruce off the inside, Robin Zahud, Funky Freddy, Pink Shellac. It's the first line. Up goes Homebush TRA, Corborn Lock, Big Fat Gypsy and another miss. $3.10 Robin Zahud. And that's the tote, $3.50 the book, jumps off the 3. Ready to run. Racing Robin Zahud out midfield here. Big Fat Gypsy out quickly along with another miss and through on the inside there to Johnny Bruce. Gee, it's a party going into that first bend. Pink Shellac's there as well. Robin Zahud gets through now and Funky Freddy gets up and around the outside as 1 or 2 get spat back. A long way back from them here. Corborn Lock, another miss, and Homebush Diarra was badly checked. Down comes Robin Zahud and scores today here from Johnny Bruce, a clear second. Third to go by, good battle. Maybe Pink Shellac got up ahead of Big Fat Gypsy. Wasn't much in that. Funky Freddy behind them with Corborn Lock. Gee, it was a rough affair this. Another miss and Homebush Tiara ended up a margin last. Well, the favourite's done it tonight. Robin Zahud did rely on quite a bit of trouble because he was back in 6th spot, but he got a run through the inside and then he just had to chase down Johnny Bruce in the straight. There was more trouble turning for home and there'd been plenty of trouble behind that. 3 over the 1. I think the 7's up for third. Pink Shellac on the outside. Wasn't much here. He does get over the top of Big Fat Gypsy. 17.65 the time. Lead up 7.08. It's done it all in the second half of the race here. Robin Zahud. The 3rd and 4th not up yet, but it's his now. Here it goes. 3, 1, 7 and 6. So Robin Zahud was in a lot of trouble in terms of being back in the pack, but things opened up beautifully for him with Homebush Tiara and Corborn Lock badly affected there, and then Big Fat Gypsy was out on Funky Freddy, and Pink Shellac was tied up in that as well. Another miss went back, but Robin Zahud scampers through and scores for Angela Turnwald. Daughter Courtney out there handling win 6 at start 22 for him. He's by Fabregas out of AJ Zar and raced by the Power of Magic, which might have been responsible for getting him that lovely run through across the top there in race number 8. So as I say, a 7:08 lead up, and they've ended up running a pretty respectable 17:65. So the back half of the race, very good for Robin Zahud here, who posts his second win on this track, and just a touch slower than his first win here, which is a wee while ago now, 17:62. Heading on to the top of the dais, Johnny Bruce gave a sight, held pretty firmly on the inside there, but got bumped out of the way by Robin Zahud. He's a big leggy dog, the winner, 36 kilo dog. 3176 being confirmed in the back. It's 3 lengths, 4 lengths and a neck. So there's a relatively good margin there, third and fourth in the end. Now race number 9 begins the late quaddie, Meteor OPD, Wanganui, class 3 over 520 metres, 9 and 10 are out. And we're underway with that, as I say, at 8:24. And off the back of that 5:20 race, we've got one for the class 5s with dogs like Corborn Brick and Flying Merkel. So it's a pretty tasty quaddie. Robin Zahud, the 3, 382.10, 240 for the 1, $2 the 7. Cornella 10.40. A 53.60 trifecta, 3176 first 4, $454.10. Dean Hodgson there with the head on glasses, and he's been a long time supporter helper there with the Turnbull team and kids, and a smiling Courtney as well. Double 1 and 3, $26.50. Concession pair of ones, $15.90. That's the 8th done. Race number 9. Interesting race this, with Lonesome Nitro favourite earlier in the day. He was the Wanganui Cup winner from 2015. He's won 1 in about 35 starts since, and he's a $3 favourite here. Admittedly, his last couple of runs have been a wee bit better. Stormy Days at $3.40. Now, she hasn't quite picked the jump as she normally has the last couple, and has paid for that. Trendy Mind at 5's hard to catch. Fall from Grace has only had the 1 win over the 520 metres, and that was in a heat of a Group 1 race. She's at $4. I see Making Time 16 into 14. I've actually got her on top, more on a whim than anything. She is fresh up. She's way, way better than her form would suggest. It does look a pretty open affair for the first leg of the quaddie, Jess. In my opinion, race number 9 will tell the story, though, at 8:24.
Thanks, Rosso. We do have your suggested quaddie too. I'll quickly go through those numbers for it. The first leg, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 and 8. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 and 8 first leg. Second leg, anchoring Corborn Brick. Anchoring the 1, Corborn Brick. Then the third leg, 1, 2, 5 and 7. 1, 2, 5 and 7. And race 12, number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. Thanks, team. There it is on screen. So Rosso suggested there. Of course, you can adjust the percentage to your liking for that. And his best bet of the night is Corborn Brick, if you want to follow that, $2.20 on the market. So thanks to Rosso for that. Our next live race, Richmond. And Ipswich it is, meeting 37 race number, meeting 34 race 7. Gnarly Girl, 155, 110, 140 and 190. John Brash there. 7-2, he's put in the 10, bold as Brash as well, and the 4. 7, 2, 10 and 4. Race 7, we will take a quick break here. A late scratching of the 8, by the way. So we'll take a break. TAB trackside 1.
Roughie today, 16-1. Now that's what I call a roughie.
There's Cherie on the inside. Colby Royal coming back. Bono.
I know it's rough. It's by Tavistock though. Is Stock Take. Left-handed, rain-affected track. Last race, 3 kilo claim.
Stock Take. Stock Take wins the last.
And keep an eye on this one, Club's Choice. It just loves to lead. It's 61s and 10s. Oh.
Club's Choice exploded out of the barrier and leads all of the way. Club's Choice by 2.5.
Are your horses muscled up, ready for this season's racing or yearling sales? The Hanley formula, guaranteed to build lean muscle and lower your feed bills. Ask at your feed store or visit
Next on the card to open the $25,000 fast track.
We do have an amended result from the previous at Alexandra Park. Unfortunately, Inky Rowe disqualified from third, so promoted 9 Tourbillon, $4.40. The new trifecta, 12, 7 and 9, $1,282.60. The first four, 12, 7, 9 and 8, $7,802.80. The double and concession there. Also, the carry forward for the quaddie remains the same, $4,500 into the second quaddie pool, jackpotting through to that, and that'll start race 8 at 9:09 this evening. So promoted to third, Tourbillon, Inky Rowe, unfortunately disqualified. Shame after she stepped away and did everything right until that home straight, but she's got a ton of ability, and when she hits her straight, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, of course, in the family of Revenue Maker, which the McGowns had great success with him as well. Now racing in Australia, Revenue Maker. Right, meeting 34, race number 7, Gnarly Girl, $1.60, $1.05, $2.02.30. Kilty Jack, $1.10. And outside of those, Firefly James at $4.20 and $1.40. Just the selection 7, 2, 10 and 4. 7, 2, 10 and 4. Off the back of this will be at Alexandra Park for the first leg of the $25,000 pick 6 this evening. Good luck if you're playing that. It'll kick off at 8:16, so get involved now. Aaron's numbers for the first leg, 7, 12, 1 and 10. 7, 12, 1 and 10. Race number 6, the Grand Park Restaurant mobile pace over 2,200 metres at Alexandra Park. And just looking at the early favourite there, Mr. Euroman, 4-year-old gelding by Art Major, $2.80. Tony Herlihy, the trainer, Morris McKendry to take the drive. Of course, Tony will be over the Tasman with Temporale lining up on Sunday. Good luck to him. Also, good luck to the connections of Wilmer's Mate, Waikiki Beach, Franco Cristiano, Custodian, Mackenzie, Louisiana Bell, Midfru, Pacing Major, Party On, and Conham Bridge, all flying the flag. In terms of Kiwi connections immediately, there are a number of New Zealand-owned horses there competing too. So there'll be plenty of interest and pride on the line on Sunday afternoon. Right, Ipswich, race number 7. We do have our caller there, John Brash.
Starting signal given, race 7. Starting signal. 2 Gnarly Girl, the favourite. 190 tote, 180 fixed. 7 Firefly James, 340 tote, 320 fixed. Both can show speed in their races. If Firefly James can get out and win like it did from box 8 a couple of starts ago, it'll be hard to beat. And my good old namesake Boulder's Brash there, perched up in box 1 tonight. Invariably does run a cheeky race when drawn inside alleys. Bless his little heart. Last of them locked away here for race number 7. All in. Green light is on. 2 Gnarly Girl favourite, 180 tote and fixed. $3 Firefly James. Already. Racing fast away, Gnarly Girl. Flash G showing speed around them was out west. The other favourite, Firefly James, back second last. And look at Gnarly Girl go. She's dashed away in the back. 6 lengths in front. Boulder's Brash rails to second. Third, Flash G. Or checked again was Firefly James, Kildy Jack, Kick and Springer and out west. But it's all Gnarly Girl. She's home today. Gnarly Girl well clear. Boulder's Brash running a great race. But Gnarly Girl by 6 lengths. Boulder's Brash second. Kildy Jack third. Followed by Kick and Springer. Then came Flash G, and always rearward was Firefly James in around 25 and 10 to Gnarly Girl. 2 Gnarly Girl, Jan Warner, $1.50, $1, 10 Boulder's Brash, $2 for Kildy Jack, $2.10, 2.10 and 4.
Those numbers will be posted on the board pretty shortly. The emergency dog going a cheeky race there in second position. So that was Ipswich. Those numbers will be with us very soon. We're heading back to Alexandra Park. First leg of the $25,000 pick 6, so good luck if you are investing. And this is, of course, the Grand Park Restaurant mobile pace over 2,200 metres. Also the first leg of play 6, a double and pick 6 tonight. So play 6 potentially a good option. We've seen a couple of upsets there at the park tonight, so with the even fields that could be a way to play. But Mark, as we head to you, first leg of pick 6 here, Mr. Euroman the favourite, 240 and 110.
And earlier on this week, Jess, Tremaine Thorby, stable representative for Tony Herlihy, gave a big rap to Mr. Euroman off the back of a fourth in a rating 66 to 76 here 2 weeks ago, a race which was won by Zach Maguire. And Zach Maguire will go around in race number 8 tonight in a few races' time. Aaron White's made it his best bet of the night. $2.80 last night. It's into $2.40, Mr. Euroman, the son of Art Major. And certainly didn't have a lot of luck that day. It was doing some good work to get within 2 lengths of Zach Maguire. Finished just over a length and a half behind the eventual winner. But the races prior to that were very good. Doesn't really run a bad race, does Mr. Euroman, and it is the top elect here in the first leg of pick 6. Major Ben, there's support for it again tonight, of course, off the back of its recent efforts, and, well, I tell you what, it's been racing in much better company than this, and was in that Breeders' Crown runoff with Shandale in mid-July, Major Ben, and support for it again tonight as it gets its second row draw in the space of a couple of weeks. It's also coming out of the Zach Maguire race. Ended up running 3rd, whereas Mr. Euroman ran 4th. So Major Ben beat at home, but Mr. Euroman's drawn off the front tonight. We'll hear from Zach Butcher, who didn't have a lot of luck in the earlier race on the program, or one of the earlier races with that debutant, and neither did the favourite in the previous. Inky Rowe disqualified. Second favourite galloped as well. It was Rariza earlier on that Zach didn't have a lot of luck on. Not his fault, of course. He's driving Mo Casino here for Stephen Reid and Simon McMullen. Zach, race number 6 tonight, Mo Casino, won a rating 35 to 55 a couple of weeks ago, and this is a step up in company tonight.
Yeah, big step up, but I know Simon and Stephen are pretty happy with him, so worked quite well during the week, and he's an honest horse, and he did go pretty good. They went a pretty slick time, so hey, the step up's going to probably be a wee bit tough on him, but you should get a cosy run from him, and he'll be running on strong.
The horse that Mo Casino beat here 2 weeks ago, Snow Raker, who's a big chance. Been the talk on track tonight off the back of its workout effort. It'll go around in the 5th leg of tonight's pick 6. Jack McKinnon, leading junior driver here at Alexandra Park for season 2015-16. We'll continue our chat with Jack because Jack drove No Doctor Needed at the workouts the other day at Franklin Park, and that horse will go in another workout tomorrow ahead of a race day reappearance next week on the road to targets such as possibly again the Kai Calder Cup into the New Zealand Cup, similar to last year. And this is what Jack had to say, as well as talking about that workout effort of No Doctor Needed, the chance for Robert Dunn in this, and it is Bevins Cullen. Jack, you drove No Doctor Needed at the workouts the other day. How was he?
He was really good. He went to the line strongly with the plug still in, so all going well. He'll be racing here within the next few weeks, so yeah, it'll be good.
And you with the Robert Dunn team, race number 6 tonight, Bevins Cullen, has had over a month off and has got the second row draw tonight.
Yeah, we've had a few problems with him pacing, but we've changed quite a bit of gear on him, and he's had a couple of trials and he won one of them really good, so he'll need a bit of luck, but I think he's a good winning chance.
Here's Jack McKinnon around the chances of Bevins Cullen, and yeah, No Doctor Needed, a little bit fat going to the workouts. Scott Phelan will drive tomorrow at the Franklin Park workouts in a race which will feature Aliante, Strike the Gold, and the Phantom Toll Booth in workout number 4 at 11:15, and sounds like next week possibly use Jack McKinnon's claim. Will Steve Telfer and Chris Garlick use him to drive No Doctor Needed? Possible resumption to racing next week on a cup campaign. Ipswich result, 2 Gnarly Girl, $1.40 and $1, 10 Boulders Brash, $2.10, 4 Kilty Jack, $1.90, 2 and 10, $6.60, 2.10, 4, $27.70, and the first 4, 2.10, 4 and 5, $271. Meeting 34, race 7. Raptor double, 8 and 2, $21.70. Concession, no concession, just a treble, 3, 8 and 2, $115.70 after the 7th at Ipswich. We do have a late scratching out of this race. Perfect Storm, runner number 1, came out earlier this afternoon. Not quite sure the reason. Hope everything, all okay with Perfect Storm, who placed him behind Killer Queen 2 weeks ago. But a late scratching here tonight to join Bride and Delight on the non-runner list. And what is the first leg of tonight's pick 6? We do have a big carry forward in the quaddie, but the quaddie is guaranteed the second quaddie at $40,000 by the TAB. That might help it go over the guarantee a bit later on. But what about the first 2 legs of pick 6 tonight. So Mr. Euroman here, Perfect Storm's out, so that'll need to be changed. 7 and 12, I'd say then. One Over the Moon, certainly an anchor, was the talk of the track here off the big performance fresh up last or 2 weeks ago off the 45 metres, off the 50 metres tonight. Maybe one more run after this before going back down south to Paul Nairn. Big chance, One Over the Moon, and well in the rankings for the Ara des Trotteurs. Dominion 5 and 6 in leg number 3. That'll be the first leg of the quaddie. So Zach Maguire and Arden's Choice. Race number 9 tonight. Stunning Shadow and Snow Raker. Big talk up for Snow Raker off the back of the workout by a length and a half. Winning that workout home in 27.2. Stunning Shadows coming off a placing 2 weeks ago. They're the only two you'll need in that one. And then if you survive through some of the better chances in the earlier legs of pick 6, wider just to get through the later races, 1, 2, 6, 8 and 10, and then 1, 2, 3, 8 and 6 in that final leg just to get through. So there's the pick 6. So there we go. Thanks to the team there in Stanley Street, changing that to 7 and 12 in that first leg now with the late scratching. What about you, Aaron White, this first leg of tonight's pick 6?
Yeah, I've gone the way of the 7, made him one of my bets of the night, Mr. Euroman. He was unlucky here 2 weeks ago and behind Zach Maguire. Beaten a slender margin by Arden's Choice. Will be very, very hard to beat in the third leg of pick 6 tonight. And was a good, strong winner 3 starts ago back on the 22nd of July, beating home Perfect Storm. So he's on top, Mr. Euroman. The Magic Man filling in for the Iceman, who's across the Tasman. We'll put in the 12 Major Ben. He's been racing well. The Art Major Gelding. Barry Purden should be finding the line strongly. Bevins Cullen, he's been freshened up. Recent workout form's been okay. He certainly has the ability to test this field. Brett Mangos for Robert Dunn, and we'll put in the 11 Killer Queen. Great to see her back in winning form. That was a couple of weeks ago, and a slick time too, beating home Perfect Storm. David Butcher, but 7 will make him a bet of the night, Mr. Euroman, to beat the 12, the 10 and the 11, and what should be an interesting chase for 25k tonight.
Thank you, Aaron, and a nice tipping in the previous with Hot Chocolate Tart getting home in race number 5 at number 12, causing that carry forward in the quaddie, or helping it anyway. Big bets coming through with the bookmakers. From my calculations, there have been $4,000 bets on Mr. Euroman recently. $1,000 bet at 240, and then 3 more coming in at that 240 quote. And that's the quote it is still at this stage. Opened at 280 last night with the TAB bookmakers. Major Ben, second favourite, $3.40 out to $3.70, and then Bevins Cullen getting in. We heard from Jack McKinnon about the horse, so had a few issues with it, but hopefully sorted out now, and Brent Mangos looking for some better luck. Another good run by St. Michel in the previous, despite the fact it did gallop off the back of the track. So about to score up for what is the first leg of tonight's pick 6, $25,000 guaranteed pool. It is race number...
Man comes forward with Chevron's Easy and also Minstrel Boy. Charleston Bell's drawn 1 the second, full speed ahead out wide. Bevins Cullen, Killer Queen, Major Ben, and Stunning Banner has drawn up on the outside of the second row. So they work into the lane, 2 1/4 laps under the ribbon of light. First leg of pick 6. This the Grand Park Restaurant pace. The green light is up, and they're off and pacing, and there's good early speed shown from the middle of the line from Minstrel Boy and Chevron's Easy. Mr. Euroman to third early. They're followed then by full speed ahead, back on the inside to Red Magic, then Mo Casino. Major Ben and Bevins Cullen back in the field with Charleston Bell, Killer Queen, and Stunning Banner the last as they sweep out to the 1850 metre mark. Minstrel Boy Sailor Abernathy leads by 3 from Chevron's Easy. Abernathy 4 lengths away in the field. Mr. Euroman the outside of Red Magic, and full speed ahead, caught 3 wide on that pair. 2 lengths away in the field then to Charleston Bell with Mo Casino pacing alongside her. 2 lengths Bevins Cullen, then Killer Queen, Major Ben, Stunning Banner, and a lead time of 43.3. So they pace out to the 1500 metre mark here, and Minstrel Boy still leads them, brings them off the back, and sweep across the showgrounds turn, leading by a length, getting to its wheel now, is Full Speed Ahead. Chevron's easy in the trail, and that has Mr. Euroman beautifully spotted 1-1. Major Ben's coming forward strongly, 3 wide for Barry Purdon from the back. Red Magic 3 back on the pegs, then Mo Casino, Zach Butcher between runners, Killer Queen and David Butcher coming forward out 3 wide. Now Mr. Euroman has sprung out in front of Major Ben. Bevins, Cullen, Charleston, Bell, Stun and Banner, the last trio, 33 and 1 the opening quarter of the Grand Park Restaurant. Paces are about to run past the Grand Park. Bevins, Cullen galloped out the back. Leader Minstrel Boy up on the outside. Mr. Euroman gets to a head away now. Mo Casino also went for a gallop at that point. They head around the stables corner. Chevron's easy back on the inside. They're followed then in the 1-1 as they pace out to the 800 metre markers. Full Speed Ahead. Then Red Magic, Major Ben a length off that. Charleston Bell, Stun and Banner comes out 3. Killer Queen and Bevins Cullen the last of the winning chances. 31 and 3. Further away Mo Casino now being pulled up. Through the back Minstrel Boy, Mr. Euroman. Stun and Banner joins in 600 out. Then Full Speed Ahead. Chevron's easy. Here's Killer Queen getting right into the picture now. The sprinters on. Major Ben. He's tucked up in midfield. Not going well enough at this stage. Out wider then to Bevins Cullen. Charleston Bell, Red Magic. 400 to go. Mr. Euroman back straight quarter. 27.9, albeit wind assisted. Leads narrowly now from Minstrel Boy. Stun and Banner. Killer Queen getting to the outside. Homeward bound. Mr. Euroman gets the measure of Minstrel Boy. Killer Queen on the outside of Stun and Banner. Then came Bevins Cullen. Mr. Euroman driven for home at the 100. Leads by a couple now. Minstrel Boy in there, followed by Killer Queen and Stun and Banner. But Mr. Euroman, the Magic Man, filling in for the Iceman and gets the job done. Second, Minstrel Boy, Killer Queen third. The fourth over Stun and Banner just in front of Full Speed Ahead. Then Major Ben. They were followed by Bevins Cullen. That gallop through the home straight second last time was costly. Back with him was Chevron's easy as to Charleston Bell. Red Magic pulled up on the journey was Mo Casino. Good time considering that they've had to run into the headwind from the start. Then second time round, then in the home straight 241.6, and he's done it from the park spot for a bit of that too. Mr. Euroman, too good. Son of Art Major. Time not quite correct, they tell me. So time not correct. So time showing out on the board. We're having a few wind issues with that obviously as well. Minstrel Boy, he'll be the second across here.
Official placings race 6, the Grand Park Restaurant Mobile Pace. 7, 6, 11, 13, 8, 12. 7, 6, 11, 13, 8, 12. Horse 7, Mr. Euroman, paced at 2200 metres in 245.57, a mile rate of 21.1. Last 857.9 and the 430. The margins 2 3/4 lengths, 1.5 lengths, 3/4 of a length. 7, 6, 11, 13, 8, 12. All official race 6, Grand Park Restaurant Mobile Pace.
Yeah, nice win here, Mr. Euroman. Nice drive too by the Magic Man, Maurice McKendry. GJ and Mrs. SL Rack, the owners and breeders. Congratulations, Art Major, 4-year-old bay gelding at a little big sister. Tony Hurley trained at Papakura, and Maurice McKendry back at the head of the field. Dennis Lee down there, part of the victory celebrations from the Grand Park Restaurant here, situated at the park. Good on you, Dennis. Good to see you on track. And Peter May, race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, also in attendance. It's a career win 4 tonight at start 22. Glad and Mrs. SL Rack, the owners there. Congratulations. 6, Minstrel Boy, Art Major, 7-year-old bay gelding, out of Just Another Lover. Ms. CM Wig, the owner. Cherie Wig trained at Cumu, Sailesh Abernathy, 11. Killer Queen for a third. The Rock and Roll Heaven Black 4-year-old mare at a Party Girl Becky, raced by Lincoln Farms Limited, D. James, MJ Brereton, along with KJ Bell, S. Beckett, IA Middleton, JR Dias and BP Rabbit. Ray Green trained at Pukekohe, David Butcher. 7 Mr. Euroman returns $2.50 for the win, $1.30 the place, $2.50, $1.30. 6 Minstrel Boy, $5.60, $5.60. 11 Killer Queen, $3.20, $3.20. The Quinella, $33.40, $33.40. Trifecta, $340.80, $340.80. And the first 4, 7, 6, 11 and 13 returns $6,692.30, $6,692.30. We'll have an update on Pick 6 just as soon as that does filter through after the first leg going the way of the favourite, Mr. Euroman. Feature trot, Marconi Seafoods handicap trot, 2,700 metres, and the early favourite is One Over the Moon, number 9, $2.50 into $1.60. Brent Mangos will do the driving. Harry Sill, number 7, $6.70 into $1.90, 9 and $3.40. Cool Cobber, number 8. Good luck with your bets. And our feature trot race 7 is time to go in 16 minutes at 19 minutes to 9.
Out wide on the track, it gets there. Fall from Grace tried ever so hard. Lonesome Nitro third. Stormy Days fourth. 3, 8, 1 and 5. 30 and 60 the time. Oh, Charlie. Charlie's got through the first bend. He's held out. Stormy Days and Fall from Grace. That was the winning of the race because the margins have been small. Getting around that bend like that, Lonesome Nitro's at his chance. He's been tucked in behind them. Making Time was there early. She needed to lead. She'd benefit from the run. Corborn Foxy got back with Knuckle Bump and Trendy Mind. Well, that hit or miss run of hers just continues, and it was a miss tonight. But honours with the 3. Charlie Bobo at big odds in the first leg. For Bill Hodgson, AR Bowen, RN Bowen, the owners, wins 7 at start 32, and what was it, paying around $17 at the close. Steve Marr brings the dog back for the president of the club, Bill Hodgson, and sets up a pretty good quaddie, you would think, whatever happens from here on in. And taking 6 and leaving out the winner is almost a criminal offence for a commentator, I would say. So I hope no one presses charges. Isn't he a lovely looking dog, Charlie Bobo? And he's from that nice litter, Spring Gun, real clever. They can all run a bit. And it's win number 7 at start number 32 for him. Results coming through. 509 lead up, 1891 back mark, 1169. They broke no records, but he was game. 1824, 28 Fall from Grace, $1.60. Sums me up. 1 Lonesome Nitro, $1.30. Quinella, 35.20. Trifecta, 198.10. 3815 first 4, $511.40. And our 10th, first leg of the last treble, Pella Mountain Scientific Nutrition Class 5s and 4s. Over the 520 metres is time to go at 8:53. Just a couple of minutes out from Melton as we head back to you. I was just looking back at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 finish. if people haven't caught up with race 2 earlier tonight here, we had a book order finish 1 through 8 in that order, and it happened here nearly 8 years ago. And just having a look at that last time it happened, Jess, believe it or not, Stu Dickinson owned the winner then too. He owned Corborn Gunner, trained by Matt Roberts tonight, and he owned Corborn Kerry that won that particular race, was trained by Dennis Schofield, beating a McInerney runner, another Gale, and McInerney was second tonight too, with Shelley McBell. Just a couple of oddities there around that rather rare event tonight. Look forward to being back with you for our race of the night, race 10, 8:53.
Thanks, Rozzo. Gee, if there's a statistic to be found, you're the man to find it. So thank you very much for that. A remarkable finish to the second this evening. Now, Melton Harness Meeting 23, race number 2. Qatari York, I've just heard through from Greg Hayes too, team member at Sky Racing, that the only one that punters want here is the 2 Qatari York. They're climbing into it in Australia at 290, 125 and 320. We'll head on course Melton, race 2.
Distance, so that might be the only determining factor, but I think that's how we'll go about it.
He's got gate speed, he's drawn well, probably expecting to get to the front, and from there it's his race to lose in many ways, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Like, he always puts in a reasonable performance off the top, so can't see why he won't this time.
There we go, at Brosnan with Qatari York. He has won 5 races, as we mentioned, at this track a couple of.
All right, we'll be back with them very shortly. Just harking back quickly to Ipswich, there was a dead heat for 4th there. So if you took a first 4 on race 7 at Ipswich Greys, there is now a dead heat for 4th. So double check those tickets if you just missed out on a first 4. Got to say good luck to the Kiwi contingent in the 4 Isobar. 4-year-old gelding by Courage Under Fire out of Tremel, Trevor Casey in there in the ownership, and as you can see, pick 6 update there. The World Live with Mr. Euroman home in the first leg of pick 6, the Fast Track Insurance 25k pick 6. Right, the first live race we take from Melton, the hot favourite Qatari York, of course Kiwi bred, qualified here in December in 2013, then was exported. We'll take you on track.
The tab.com.au Breeders' Crown graduate pace. All set. All the fixed odds available for Sunday's big card on tab. Green lights on. Race 2 Melton is underway. Getting out smartly as Qatari York had no trouble. It just ambles across the lead from our Miss Vivian. Then in the centre is Royal Witness, got a good run through the pack, and it's up there without cover into the first turn. It's stablemate Royal Capone 3 wide. It couldn't have been easier lead for Qatari York. And into the first turn, it's in front from our Miss Vivian, and then 3 back on the inside, Mick Will Rev. Then without cover at the moment anyway is Royal Capone. Raining 3 wide is Royal Capone, but it's now sliding forward to sit without cover, getting past Royal Witness at stablemate. Isobar won off the pegs, and then came Grinville, and Game We Play is about 7 metres away, settling down last. Qatari York heads towards the 1600 metres, and it leads out. The lead time in a pretty comfortable 46.9. Emmett Brosnan and Qatari York, 3 metres clear. Royal Capone is second. Leaders back is our Miss Vivian. And on the outside running 4th is Royal Witness. 3 back along the inside 5th is Mick Will Rev, the Tasmanian pacer, getting a soft run but a little awkwardly placed. Next on the outside of it was Isobar from Grinville, and Game We Play at the tail of the field as they round the turn at the 1200. Qatari York could not have had a better run for the first lap. The $2.80 favourite on Super Tab leads 3 metres. Royal Capone second, our Miss Vivian third. Then Royal Witness. Next is Mick Will Rev. On its outside is Isobar third last from Grinville, and last is Game We Play. 30.5 the first quarter. Now getting up level is Royal Capone outside of Qatari York as they make their way out of the straight. Our Miss Vivian, the outsider of the field, is third. Then 1-1 is Royal Witness. 5th is Mick Will Rev from Isobar, Grinville, and Game We Play. 800 metres left to travel. Qatari York trying to lead throughout. The second quarter, a little more genuine of 29.9. And into the back straight, it's Qatari York with outside of it Royal Capone matching motors now. 1 out, 1 back, Royal Witness outside our Miss Vivian from Isobar. Next was Mick Will Rev. Game We Play starting to get going, but has to 3 wide. Isobar flushed out in front of it, and in turn from the 1-1, Royal Witness comes coming out. So they go off the back of the 400. It's Qatari York and Royal Capone together. Now 3 wide is Royal Witness coming into it. Struggling out Miss Vivian from Isabar. Game We Play will be the widest runner. Third quarter, 28.1. Qatari York just in front of Royal Capone. Out wider on the track, Royal Witness. Isabar getting home. Game We Play widest. It's Qatari York nicely clear. Isabar coming home. Game We Play further out. Qatari York from Isabar. Game We Play. Qatari York in front. And Qatari York, with the run he had, he pretty much had to win it. And he did, and did it pretty well. It's Qatari York first, beating Game We Play. Third home Isabar. And then came Royal Witness from Royal Capone, Grenville, our Miss Vivian. And at the back of the field, Mick will rev. Final quarter, 28.2. Aldebaran Park mile rate, 157.6.
So the twos won it easily there, Qatari York and the 4-year-old Stallion. So he's an entire still by Mark 3 out of Qatari Yo-Yo, as mentioned prior to the race. Qualified here in December 2013 and then was exported to Australia. It's now won 6 of 36, Qatari York, and we will be back there for race number 3. Which is the Woodland Stud Breeders' Crown Championships 4-year-old Entires and Geldings at Group 2 level at 9 o'clock there. So off to Alexandra Park, race 7, meeting code 8. And speaking of feature races, we've got One Over the Moon here at $2.30, $1.25. Mark, as we head back to you, and he's in the unique situation where he's going to be racing this spring and also standing at stud. 2 live foals on the ground, and they've got a wonderful concept with him. $3,000 stud fee, first mare free, first mare $3,000, and the second mare will be free if they're both race winning mares. So a great concept to get mares to him.
Yes, certainly, and off the back of that, I'm sure, if he isn't being booked heavily already, he'll be a very busy boy. Already has been. One Over the Moon. Brent Mangos, caretaker driver with Tony Herlihy with Temporale over in Melbourne ahead of the Breeders' Crown on Sunday. Certainly looking like it's ready to go tonight. The entire by Majestic Sun, coming off that really nice victory off the 45 metres where they went 3:27.2. Horses capable of going times even better than that off the 45 metres. Will have to come off the 50 metres tonight. 2, 6, 4 and 9 from Melton, 2 Qatari York, 281.20, 6 Game We Play, $1.60, and 4 Isabar, $1.70. Quinella, $4.30. Trifecta, $21.20, and the first 4, 2, 6, 4 and 9, $92.70. 6 and 2 double, $21.70. Concession 6 with 6 at $6.20. So One Over the Moon, when the rankings were released earlier on this week for both the Cup and importantly for this race, the Ara des Trotteurs Dominion, One Over the Moon came out in the rankings there and was ranked 9th. Master Lavros, last year's winner, looking to go back-to-back on top, ahead of the Horse of the Year in Monbay in those rankings. Then Australians Keystone Dell and Glenferrie Typhoon, Stent, Alleyway, Valmain, Shimon, and then One Over the Moon, who will possibly have one more run up here before heading south back to Paul Nairn and getting set for the features further down south. $23 when these markets opened for the Dominion with the TAB bookmakers on option 984. It's been a pretty dramatic week from the sounds of things for Lex and Heather Williams. Reading the full story in the Harness Express publication of Lex Williams sustaining quite a very serious injury earlier this week, a broken neck amongst other things, and recovering from surgery, and this will certainly be a massive highlight on Lex and Heather's week. So best of luck, One Over the Moon, looking like it can do the job here again tonight. Was $2.30 last night with the TAB bookmakers and remains at that price. You're getting $2 on the tote at this stage. Other runners here, Harry Soul, would you be prepared to give it another chance? It broke at the 2400 2 weeks ago, but the prior form was very, very good, beating the likes of Charlemagne and Bobby Breen. Todd McFarlane taking the drive once again. Yeah, broke and was out of business 2 weeks ago and behind One Over the Moon. Cool Cobber ran second to One Over the Moon 2 weeks ago. It's also coming off the 40 metres, so it's got 10 metres now on One Over the Moon if you're looking for a couple of others for exotics to go around the hot pot. They're both at $5 with the bookies. And number 2, Lucky Fortune, was $8 last night. It's drifted out to $9. You're getting double figures on the tote at this particular point in time. And $9.52 for Majestic Alley off the front tonight. So, One Over the Moon, eligible for an ATC performance incentive bonus here tonight too, if the horse can get the job done and help out the punters who have possibly anchored this talented type in the pick sixes. 28,200, everybody live in the pick six going into this second leg. Harry Souls had a $2,000 bet at $5.40, so it's brought that horse into that $5 quote. One Over the Moon, of course, best backed, and we're a couple of minutes away. Aaron White from seeing One Over the Moon, what One Over the Moon can do this week off a really nice performance first up.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Brilliant win. Although, in saying that, Harry Soul with the early gallop did play in the hands of Cool Cobber and One Over the Moon that night. So it'll be interesting if Harry Soul can stay trotting the entire time. One Over the Moon gunning for his 21st success tonight. His 9th here at the park. He's running for a performance incentive bonus. You just have to like him the way that he sprinted in that race back a couple of weeks ago. He's clearly on top for Lex and Heather Williams. One Over the Moon, Brent Mangos subbing in for Tony Herlihy. The 8, Cool Cobber, he's shown great tenacity in his 2 runs back this campaign. Derek Ball, the trainer-driver there. 7, Harry Soul. Manners will be the key. Of course, he was only 2/10 outside the record of I Can Do's It over the 2,200 metres when winning 2 starts ago, Todd McFarlane. And 3, Majestic Ali. She's been doing a nice job, and this sort of company certainly has to be considered for all combination bets here. Again, just hearing through that we're going to have a cart change in this race as well. Just waiting to see which one it is that does require that cart change. Just can't see which one it is at this stage, Mark. But there will be a cart change there. Could well be with Harry Soul here for the Marconi Seafoods handicap trot. 9, 8, 7 and 3. I did make One Over the Moon one of my bets of the night, along with Mr. Euroman out of the year previous on the radio with Des earlier this afternoon. But yep, One Over the Moon, we'll go with him on top. The key to the race, Mark, is Sunset Peak. If she trots away, she's capable of trotting 3:29. If she was to trot that, although in difficult conditions tonight, it would make it very, very hard, not only for One Over the Moon off 50, but Harry Soul and Cool Cobber off 40 to get anywhere near her.
Can tell you, Aaron, One Over the Moon's just walked past us here and back into the stables. Brent indicating that the horse will have the cart change, so we will have a significant delay here. So it's One Over the Moon, the favourite, will have the cart change ahead of race number 7 on the card. Wind has died down slightly, or in fact significantly, from 10 to 15 minutes ago when there were shades of the Wellington days when I and a number of other tracksiders lived there. And shades of it with some strong winds, but the wind has certainly died down significantly in the past 8 or so minutes as we get set for this, but there will be a significant delay while One Over the Moon is now back in the stabling area having the cart change ahead of race number 7 on the card. Favourites at 2:30 now, so we'll get an update with the bookmakers to see if anything more has come through around that runner. Nothing at this stage, but 2.10 on the tote, but better money with the bookmakers. Speaking of punting, Kiwi Punters Championship begins this time next week at Addington Raceway. The 12 heats this year for the Kiwi Punters Championship, around about the 3rd year the competition's been running. Over $100,000 to be won. You've got $2,000 for each of the 12 heat winners. First one next week in Christchurch, Addington Raceway. Leads to the big final on what a great punting day it is. Speaking of trotters, Dominion Day, Show Day Friday is the big final at Addington Raceway. So we've got the 12 heats. There will be 3 here at Alexandra Park. There are 7 at Addington Raceway. There'll be one once again this year at the Northern Tavern in Invercargill. And for those in the CD, as we see One Over the Moon in the stabling area now with the change of cart. So making its way around now. There will be a Kiwi Punters Championship heat at the TAB's head office in Petone. So each winner gets $2,000 and the invitation to go to the grand final, as well as the place getters in each heat, where the further $80,000 will be up for grabs. $50,000 to the grand final winning team, $20,000 for second, and then $10,000 for third position. Addington.co.nz is where you can get the entry forms and also have a look at the terms and conditions there. So addington.co.nz for the Kiwi Punters Championship. Bidding funds of $500 will get you in, so if you have that pool, you can enter there $5,000 to be involved in the final. Kiwi Punters Championship, it is back and a huge pot to play for, one of the biggest in the country, addington.co.nz for more information on that. Favourites back on its way to the start, and it's in from 2.30 into 2.10 now, so money continues to pour in for One Over the Moon as the cart change continues here at Alexandra Park. We've got the wind, but Hatrick's got the rain. Let's hope it stays away from Hawke's Bay. From listening to Butch Castles on Trackside Radio with Des Coppins earlier today, they've had 8 mils, I think, Wednesday night and Thursday night, but no rain during the day today. Across from Wanganui, across in Hastings, ahead of the McPhee Challenge Stakes tomorrow. And those initiatives for a Daffodil Race Day, Daffodil Day today, but Daffodil Race Day tomorrow. The likes of Gerald Shand with the auctioning off tonight of the 5% share in Stolen Dance. If Stolen Dance runs in the money tomorrow, the owner for the day will get a cut and get to participate as an owner for the day for the first New Zealand Group 1 for the season, and plenty of Kiwi interest tomorrow in the Memsey Stakes. Those
front tape, Regal Petite, Charlemagne, Harry Sul, Cool Cobber. One Over the Moon off his back mark. Barrier strands release, and they're off and trotting in the Marconi Seafoods. They're all down and trotting in the early stages of the run, with the first out Gintaras over Lucky Fortune. Sunset Peak does roll up to this leading pair as they work out to the showgrounds turn. They're followed by Regal Petite up to fourth in front of Majestic Ali as they turn off the back. Then Charlemagne, Harry Sul safely down and trotting. Cool Cobber's gone for an early gallop there for Derek Paul. And One Over the Moon gets underneath Cool Cobber. Majestic Ali also trotting roughly across the top, and that's put Harry Sul into a gallop as they work into the home straight, and Lucky Fortune leads from up on the outside. Sunset Peak and then Gintaras. They're followed 3 or 4 lengths away Regal Petite, 10 lengths Charlemagne. There's 5 lengths One Over the Moon on the outside of Majestic Ali, and the other pair, they couldn't win, Harry Sul and Cool Cobber. Judge and 2 to make, and Sunset Peak Ben Butcher onto the stables corner. Leads by a length and a quarter over the showy Chestnut. Lucky Fortune getting the lovely run in the trail now for Andrew Neil. Gintara's third. Then Regal Petite and Andre Potama as they trot out to the 1800 metre mark. 4 lengths off the back of Regal Petite is Charlemagne. There's 3 lengths to Majestic Ali, 2 lengths away then to One Over the Moon. It'd only be 10 lengths off the lead as they've completed a circuit. The other pair just going around for practice, Cool Cobber and Harry Sul. Down the back they go, 1600 metres left to go, and the lead time will be posted in 1:28.2 as they trot to the end of the back straight, and it is Sunset Peak over Lucky Fortune. Gintaras trotting along nicely in third for Richard Brosnan. They're followed by Regal Petite. Then came Charlemagne and Kyle Marshall, Majestic Ali, Morris McHenry, One Over the Moon and Brent Mangos. The speed is good enough. Brent quite happy to sit out the back of the winning chances. The other pair are Cool Cobber with Harry Sul on his back as they swing into the lane. 1200 metres left to go. Marconi Seafoods trot 32 and 4 the opening quarter. Sunset Peak, the 5-year-old mare by Sundon, leads from Lucky Fortune. 3 back Gintaras. Here's One Over the Moon looking to get into the race now. Regal Petite is fourth, then Charlemagne One Over the Moon getting to its wheel. Majestic Ali the last as they swing out of the home straight and work the stables corner again. Sunset Peak 900 to go. Over Lucky Fortune, Gintaras, Regal Petite up over on the outside. One Over the Moon, he's only 6 lengths off the lead now. Charlemagne to his inside and on his back is Majestic Ali, second quarter 32.9. Sunset Peak into the back, leads a little over a length and a half now over Lucky Fortune. Gintaras One Over the Moon inching close to the outside. Mango just stoking him up up. The speed's been pretty genuine up front. And, of course, he's had that long 50-metre handicap, but the stallion, he continues to give, and he's getting closer to these leaders now as they turn off the back. Then Majestic Ali back over on the inside now as they trot across the top. Was Regal Petite, and then Charlemagne the back straight quarter. 29.7 Sunset Peak up on the outside. One over to Moon. He tries bravely, levels up now. Lucky Fortune, Majestic Ali, Charlemagne to the outside. Gintaras has galloped as to Regal Petite. One over to Moon goes for home, a length and a half. After it, Majestic Ali up the inside. Lucky Fortune. Then came Charlemagne. One over to Moon, 100 to go. Charlemagne stoking up with Majestic Ali and Lucky Fortune. One over to Moon, about to be swamped. Dizzy, Lucky Fortune, Charlemagne, Majestic Ali, Lucky Fortune. Lucky Fortune and Andrew Neil will get the win. Second, Majestic Ali. Game Run third, one over to Moon. They were followed then by Charlemagne fourth. Further back in the field then to Regal Petite. They were followed by Sunset Peak. Gintaras with a late gallop. Cool Copper galloped early, as too did Harry Sewell. They were out of play after that. 31-3 was the final quarter, and 3:34.6 the time posted. One over to Moon. He tried very, very hard, didn't he? But Lucky Fortune had the cold shot. The passing lane just slips underneath, and Majestic Ali will also get her nose just in front of a very game one over to Moon. You won't see too many horses win off 50-metre handicaps at Alexandra Park. He's gone down very, very bravely. In third, one over to Moon, and Charlemagne close up in fourth. A good feature trot it has been, brought to us by Marconi Seafoods.
Official placings race 7, the Marconi Seafoods Handicap Trot. 239654. 239654. Horse 2, Lucky Fortune, trotted the 2700 metres from a stand, and 334.66. Mile rate of 27.9. Last 861, the 431.3. The margins are neck, a nose, a half head. 239654, race 7, the Marconi Seafoods Handicap Trot.
Lucky Fortune goes back to back. It's win 8 at start 38 for Lucky Fortune, raced by Andrew Neil. And it's career win 7 here at Alexandra Park as well. A Bryland Boys 6-year-old chestnut gelding out of How's Lucky. Andrew Neil, the preparers out of Cambridge. Andrew Neil with the drive gets the prize. And as I mentioned, win 8 at start 38. Mrs. RG along with BR Timms, the breeders. And Andrew doing the driving there too. Nice win in our feature trot, the Marconi Seafoods Handicap Trot. Richard Hitchings and the team, good to have you on track tonight. Great supporters of us here at the Auckland Trotting Club. And Murray Goldsworthy, a steward and also life member of the club down there, part of the victory celebrations. 3, Majestic Ali for second. The Majestic Sun, 5-year-old bay mare out of Galleon's Paradise for the Hewsons, SR and Mrs. AR. Michelle Wallace, Bernie Hackett, trained at Waiuku. Morris McKendry in 9, one over to Moon. A valiant effort. Majestic Sun, 6-year-old bay stallion out of one over Kenny. Ali and Mrs. H.R. Williams, the owners. Tony Hurley, trained at Papakura. And Brent Mangos. 2, Lucky Fortune returns $9.90 on the win tote, $2.40 the place, $9.90 and $2.40 back for the place. 3, Majestic Ali, $2.40 $2.40. 9, 1 over to Moon, $1.40 $1.40. Quinella, $36.30 $36.30. Trifecta, $236 $2.36. The 2, 3, 9 and 6 first 4 returns $3,161.10, $3,161.10. The 7 and 2 double, $15.70, $15.70. Mr. Euroman into Lucky Fortune. 7 and 3, Majestic Ali concession, $7.80, $7.80. The 12 hot chocolate tart, 7 Mr. Euroman, 2 Lucky Fortune treble, $162.10. $162.10. Pick 6, 2,202.71 live, 2,202.71 live in pick 6. Belmont Linen Hire Mobile Pace over the 2,200 metres is race 8 on the card to open the $40,000 quaddie. So well worth having a crack at a quaddie. We also open a double here, late scratching number 11, Beyond the Silence. 6 Arden's Choice Act Butcher 150, the win 170 the place. 10 The Faithful, Sean Grayling $9.20, $1.50. 300 Dino Todd Mitchell 9.70 and 2. 5 Zach Maguire, Andre Potama 10 and 2.60. Bronze over number 4 10.40 and 2.30. 40,000 we chase in the quaddie and we'll be underway in 15 minutes.
Book jumps off the 1. Really good race set. Racing Corborn Brick springs beautifully the inside. Now Flying Merkle comes across on a few. Our Gypsy ducks to the rail. Sheer Miss is trying to muscle up there to Flying Merkle, who gets around it. Sheer Miss gets shuffled. Corborn Cooks is back midfield. Inside for Opawa Shea. Top Prosecutor outside that. Well back in the pack here then to Thrilling Cassie. Sheer Miss all the way to the back. It's Corborn Brick in front of our Gypsy, and Flying Merkle have come right away on Corborn Cooks. Then the 2, the 5, the 6, the 3. They're not in it on the corner. It's Corborn Brick. Our Gypsy has a crack the outside. Tries to go inside. Tries to go outside, can't get there. Corborn Brick wins from our Gypsy. Flying Merkle margin back the others. Top Prosecutor, that was a much better run. Then Corborn Cooks further back on the race then to Opawa Shea, Thrilling Cassie and Sheer Miss at the back. She found all sorts of bother with her big, large, hulking Flying Merkle kennelmate at the first bend. 30 and 36, good enough for the Brick. Start 100, win 31. Good way to bring up the century. Stronger tonight, our Gypsy. It's only gone under half a length. Flying Merkle game off the 8. And Top Prosecutor might be one to watch. He was awful resuming, but he's down a kilo tonight and he's got a long way off them. And he's run home fairly, certainly better than the back pack. Lots of trouble that first bend with the 8 coming across a few of them. And Sheer Miss wore probably the worst of it. Top Prosecutor in a spot of bother too. But honours with Corborn Brick at his 100th start, owned by Stu Dickinson, trained by Matt Roberts. Second time that combination has been successful tonight. 5.10 lead up and 18.67 to the back mark. Winner got there 3/4 of a length in the end, and next, second and third. And there was a margin back the others, but Top Prosecutor did pretty well. He was 7 1/4 back, but he was better, much better than that last start last, which was well below his usual par. By Oaks Road out of Asterix is Corborn Brick, and he put an asterisk next to his start 100 as a win. Start 31, win 31 I should say, for him. Our Gypsy gave plenty and made life interesting. Ahern second and third and behind the Roberts runner. And result coming through, closed up pretty tight, might have even ended up under 2, no, just exactly $2 and $1.20. When the tote balance for our Gypsy $2.20, 8 Flying Merkle $1.80, Quinella $6.70, Trifecta $38.40, 1485 first for $149. Double completed there, number 3 Charlie Bobo and leg 1 into Corborn Brick, 34.10, and the same for the concession, 3 and 4, also $34.10. We've got 2 to go here, making up a double across the last 2. Race number 11 tonight, Liquorland Wanganui Class 4, 305 metres, 9 and 10 come out. It's a really tidy field, and we're underway with that one, Jess, at 20 after 9.
Thanks, Rosso, and congratulations on your best bet of the night there, home 2 in Corborn Brick. So well done to you. Meeting 23, race number 3 is up next. Just getting an update through from Greg Hayes. Now they only want one horse in this on the Australian market, and that's Illawong Armstrong. It's still $1.60 and $1.02. So Melton Harness here, meeting 23, race number 3. Naturally, the only one they want, $1.60, $1.02. We're back there shortly. We'll take a very quick break here, trackside 1.
Pedigree is everything. Sir Lincoln, a stunning looking son.